tirelessly trying to scan the planet that the ship sits in the orbit above. The death of man's hubris. All the augurs in their machine spirits seem to screech in despair and protest, as if the planet itself was in too much pain to scan. Progress has been agonizingly slow, the only comfort being that it has seemed that none of Copernicus's fighter jets have departed from his ship. Likely, the Cornate was encountering the same set of issues the Retinue was. Breaking the quiet work chatter of the bridge, a hail reaches the sun's heart. A distress beacon, coming roughly from the direction of Copernicus's vessel, the Iron Fang. That being said, a quick run shows that it is not coming from the bridge.
Clovis is just looking at, like, can we pinpoint where the message is coming from?
Urzin and Gradius, you were the ones on the consoles.
That was directed to me. Can I?
Do you have tech use?
Do I have tech use? That is a good question, and I don't believe I have it trained.
Roll me tech use. Plus 20, you're familiar with ships.
Yay!
I just love, with plus 20, yay!
Yeah! Yippee! I still fail.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
With a plus 20, I had to beat a 75.
Well succeeds. Urzin, you have the same insight as before. Not the bridge. Gradius. Lower decks.
Lower decks unit rotator.
Have we verified who's sending the message?
Can I find that out?
You have not accepted the message. It is a distress signal, which means it doesn't have a name attached.
Unknown. Unknown sender.
Is the cipher identical to anything we've encountered before?
I double-checked that. Is it a loon?
No. It appears to be some sort of foreign Vox relay. It's not connected to the ship. As in, it's not connected to the ship's relay at all. This is a separate Vox relay.
Separate Vox network, unknown from prior channels.
Pull up the map of the system.
When's the last time since our system's been updated, Loon?
Your system has been in contact with Copernicus's ship before.
Mm-hmm.
You would be able to identify if it was part of the same network.
Okay.
You have definitely never been contacted by this specific cipher item before.
Old or recently implanted Vox communication.
Recent. So, it seems like it just got reset or created.
So both ships are in orbit of the same planet.
So you are both in orbit. Copernicus's ship is basically on the other side of the planet because neither of you want to engage in ship combat at the moment. There's kind of I wouldn't call it a truce. However, given that, frankly, taking on a Cornate planetary assault ship in a frigate is not a good idea, you guys are on the opposite side of the planet from where Copernicus's ship is. However, if you were to fly slightly away from the planet, pull out of orbit, you could easily see it. You're within a couple of void units from each other. You're not that far.
And we know that he's already been to planet Neck.
Yes.
Which means he probably has the key from that planet aboard his ship.
Yes.
And there's someone trying to hail me on that same ship.
Rolodex.
Do we know what the message is?
We haven't accepted it yet.
Well,
if it's a Trojan virus.
If it's laced with scrap code, we can't let it get through. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me real quickly pull up the GM, the list of skills. Because this is probably going to be a lore roll, not a tech use roll. Will, you obviously have Lore Mechanicus, correct?
Yes, let me double check it. Yep, common Lore
You
Mechanicus.
should.
Yeah, Machine Cult, regular.
Yeah, roll me Common Lore Machine Cult.
Alrighty. That is a success.
Oh, that's a 6.
Yeah, that's a
That's-
6.
My god. You basically
Prognosis
run
shit.
through both the ship's list of, like known like scrap code patterns as well as the stuff that you have encountered. And yeah, nope. This doesn't look like scrap code. It looks like a genuine transmission.
So, genuine transmission, settler captain.
Play it through. Isolate so that it doesn't spread to any affected systems either. I want the message isolated and played.
Understood. I do as told. And I have, what's his name? Murphy act as the projector.
Alrighty. It is extremely staticky. Honestly, it's very hard to make out as it comes through, as if someone was speaking through, like, a microwave. However, it is legible. Please, if anyone can hear this, this is Thakin Mileski of the Katachan Jungle Fighters and servant of the Emperor of Mankind. The Warp's Chosen has gone stark, raving, carkin mad. Please, if you're here, we need help. Now! The message cuts off.
Oh boy.
Clovis is like slouched in his command throne, and just thinking to himself. This is out of character. On the one hand, a Katachan jungle fighter calling for help is usually a sign that stuff has gone to shit. On the other hand, a Katachan jungle fighter would make an excellent Khornate warrior. So there's a 50-50 chance that this is a trap. However,
Item, which means you can send communications back.
Your orders, Sir Captain.
transmits the following. Hang on. Transmit the following code. We live in a twilight world.
We live in a twilight world.
You get, basically, after a couple of minutes of tense silence, you hear a, basically, how do I put this? You hear, like, a long sigh come over the Voxcaster with a single line back. And there are no friends at dusk.
Gradius. How likely is it that our vessel can launch a boarding action of the enemy ship?
Very likely, Skitarii and Voidsman teams will be able to be at your will be at your disposal. Be at your full disposal. I can have.
He knows we're here.
So I can have a team ready within 5 minutes.
Excellent. Gentlemen, we have a ship much larger and more powerful than our own on the other side of this planet. And we have a confirmed Inquisition asset aboard that vessel. Clearly, an extraction operation is called for. Send 2 squadrons to the planet's surface to establish a beachhead. Make sure Conicus can see them. We'll wait to see how he plays, and when he lowers his guard, we move in for the kill. Catch, not kill. I want to see what this jungle fighter knows. And more importantly, if we can recover the key from Neck from the ship, then I'd say a 2-for-1 bargain is as good as any. Master Vandergrim. Shit, I forgot Skid's on the bathroom.
Get to the bathroom. Master Vandergrim. You basically see where Matthias is supposed to be. There's like, his mask is just kind of sitting there, and Loka kind of looks at you. Currently checking in with V Centaurus about the status of the machine spirits, sir. They still are acting up.
Never mind then. Rally the men and have 2 squadrons prepared for deployment planet side. And and Gradius. I want you to prepare your boarding action.
Got it.
As this is happening, Loka kind of looks to you. It may take us a bit longer than typical to get people down on the planet, sir.
Why is that?
The atmosphere is toxic, and the entire climate is burning hot. Any deployments will have to be either in appropriate ships or be put into void suits. In addition, we'll have to send down oxygen supplies. The air is not breathable for long periods of time.
Well, there goes my cunning ruse to attempt to bait him to the planet.
I am going to actually put this in planet profiles because you guys do not have the entire scan. I will give you what he just said.
Also, I love that you picked up the "We live in a Twilight world" thing.
Yeah.
I really like Tenet. I think it's a good movie. It's actually a real-life CIA code, apparently.
Yeah, it is actually.
Or it used to.
That's where I knew it from.
It did actually used to be.
It did used to be a CIA code, because I knew that from stuff I've looked into regarding wars and, combat tactics. It's complicated. But
I learned it from watching Tenet.
Fair.
Where it's like a plot point.
I think that was a good time for Matthias to come back. He kind of, he walks back into the bridge and he goes, "Lord Captain, I have returned. Has anything happened in my absence?"
Fortunately.
Much has happened, Master Vandergrim. We've confirmed an Inquisition asset aboard Conicus's ship, and we are currently discussing plans on how to take him unawares.
Yeah, because you guys are discussing this, I will reveal, if you go to slide 18, since you are in orbit, you can see the appearance of the Death of Man's Hubris from above, and the map on slide 19.
Yeah, we would die if we went on this planet, guys.
Basically what Loka just told, as you heard, Skid,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a planet with a habitable climate for human life.
Oh, how delightful.
It means that you guys will have to, if you look at the Death of Man's Hubris, I already have the stuff in the channel, if you scroll up. It's the second one up. It is a planet filled, basically, that was scarred by a massive nuclear war. Currently, the entire planet's surface is filled with basically magma, fires. The atmosphere is completely toxic due to radiation, and it's burning hot.
Delightful.
So,
elephants fit the planet.
Yeah, sending people down to the planet means everyone has to be in void suits, including you guys when you go down there.
Yay.
But right now, I'm more interested in seeing what's up with the signal coming from Conicus's ship.
Yes. As you're talking, by the way, Matthias, you come in, Clovis explains the situation, and the doors to the bridge then fly open a second time as a woman bearing the symbols of the ecclesiarchy walks in. She gives the sign of the Aquila out of formality before nodding at each key member of the retinue. Scutari Alpha, Gradius Z Delta 87. She turns to Matthias. Newly appointed Seneschal Matthias Vandergrim. She scowls at Urizen in the pilot's chair. Sanctioned Tau Urizen.
She's just like,
and finally,
hold on, who is she?
You don't know yet. Finally, she walks over and gives a bow before Clovis. And, of course, rogue trader Clovis Llewellyn Smythe of the newly founded Smythe Dynasty. Looking Clovis dead in the eye, she gestures to herself. I am Cardinal Catula Law of the Cardinals Astral, the one pulling all of the strings of the ecclesiarchy aboard your ship. You've earned my respect and approval, and proved my original mission complete. She doesn't smile, but you can sense there's a slight hint of amusement in her voice. Despite the actions of your mentor, your loyalty to the Imperium of mankind is not of any doubt. Considering the looming threat of the Cornates under this Carnicus of Steel and the unholy Xenos threat aboard the system, and potentially the ship, consider me and the Ecclesiarchy missionaries at your service.
It is an honor and pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cardinal Law. And do not think for a minute that your presence aboard my ship did not go unnoticed, as you have eyes on this ship, as do I.
I'd expect nothing less from a member of the Inquisition.
Former. It seems now that my current office, though no less prestigious, is very distinct.
Truly. Of course, I was originally deployed for your original mission, however, it doesn't hurt to make sure that you have a dedicated head to the Ecclesiarchy. Naturally, the heretic Abril didn't. However, I took it upon myself to fulfill the role. Someone had to get the remaining priests together.
So, it is very nice to see that order has restored itself upon this ship. Tell me, what brings you up to the bridge after so long?
She kind of gestures to the ship, as well as the planet, basically, down below. Mostly, she gestures to the ship again. That the Cornate presence and the presence of the archenemy has not gone unnoticed, and we're in closer proximity than ever.
And I believe you should be let in on the loop regarding a recent development. An Inquisition asset is aboard his vessel, claiming distress.
You see her kind of, rub her temples slightly. Of course he has someone important to us. What is the current plan and situation?
Interdiction, interception, and extraction. We are still discussing the finer points of the plan. His ship was much larger than ours, and undoubtedly has a larger crew. My initial plan to distract him with a planetary incursion has run into the rather lamentable road bump. That the atmosphere is incredibly toxic. A full frontal assault of the ship is always possible, yes, but I'd rather make sure to have the advantage before trying something so reckless.
Especially given, no matter the state of our ship, we will need to find a way to limp back home. Yes, it's troublesome. She kind of looks to, Gradius. Has a full scan of the ship actually been done? Or have we never gotten close enough to do so?
Game Master?
No. You have not been close enough before to scan the ship. It's always been just out of reach of a full auger scan. However, if you just scooted a little bit closer, you probably could get one.
Unit Voidsman Arisen.
Yes, sir.
Position is solid several 100 meters closer to complete scans.
Do I have to roll a pilot thing, or is that just done?
Yes, you are scooting. You are trying to get closer to the ship without him noticing you are purposely inching closer. So yes, please roll me a pilot spacecraft test.
Hey,
Also, because scooting a ship ever so slightly is kind of hard with the giant void engines on your ship. You're not known for... Okay. You scoot a couple 100 meters closer, and Gradius, you see Carnicus' ship pop up on your sensors.
Boom. Boom. I don't know, I'm just making noises. I don't know what radar sounds like in the 40k universe.
Question.
Yes.
Has anyone else watched that stupid animated Storks movie? With the wolves?
Oh, yeah.
I know what scene you're talking about.
I'm thinking of the submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Page is this? Page 142.
Storks, wolves, sub. I'm posting this video on the memes channel so that people understand what we're talking about.
Probably smart.
Refer to memes in media. And yes, that is Keegan Michael Kay and his good buddy, Jordan Peele.
Who?
The wolves, the main wolves, the alpha and the beta.
Yeah, who are they? Who actors? Who?
Keegan-Michael Kay and Jordan Peele. They're a comedy act on Comedy Central. Keegan is still doing comedy, and Jordan Peele is famous for venturing out into horror stuff. You know, like Us, Nope, and Get Out. They're still best buds, and I really hope that they do a joke about them being friends in a potential Transformers 1 sequel. That's just a side rambling. I know, they got Keegan-Michael Kay to be Bumblebee. If they can get Jordan Peele to do Cliffjumper, that's just a joke that writes itself. The punchline is that they look identical besides the paint jobs. So, we got the ship within clear view of us.
Alrighty. Will, please roll me a... Let's actually look at what the ship's augurs are. What is your ship's awareness modifier? Please roll me awareness plus 22 to scan Carnicus' ship.
Alright, let's see. Awareness is basic plus 22. That is perception. 17. So I fail by a pretty huge margin.
I will give you its class, and I will give you its dimensions. I'm going to leave the rest out for now. I'm putting this in game general. The Iron Fang is a light cruiser of class Hellbringer class Chaos Planetary Assault ship, which basically means it's meant to be a primary force in raiding and taking over planets for the archenemy. It's roughly 4 kilometers long and about half a kilometer approximately wide on average, and weighs roughly 22 megatons. Anything about its crew, weaponry, other capabilities, etc. is currently unknown to you. Urizen, would you like to try as well, given you are at the helm?
What? What am I rolling?
Awareness.
Awareness plus 22.
Awareness plus 22, adding that onto my current plus 10. Yay.
So that's a plus 32 on awareness.
Yes. Let's see here, it's an 80, and I had to beat I can do math. 82.
82. Then you succeed.
Yes.
An 80 on 82 is pretty wild.
I mean, hey.
50 perception, plus the 10 from the thing, and then plus the... Yeah.
I wasn't questioning the math, I'm just saying that that's a pretty tight...
Oh, it is. I'm not denying it's a tight squeeze. But it succeeds, and that's all that matters.
Yep, I'm currently copying over the information of the specific ship components, which do not look these up. I'm just telling you what it has on it.
I mean, I might know what those components are because...
That's fine.
I had to design the Velvet Glove.
Yeah, Alrighty. I'm pinning this so that you guys can keep this information you're at. Alrighty. Urizen, as you're scanning it, this has about a 40,000... should have a 40,000 ship crew, as well as roughly the capacity to hold 100,000 additional raiders, captives, etc. in its holds. It has 5G sustainable acceleration. For its weaponry and other components that you can easily get a scan of, it has a dorsal Hellas macro cannons, a prow skullhammer bombardment cannon, launch bays on the port and starboard side for the swift death fighters that perch on the wings, Dreadclaw drop pod bays, and plunder holds.
This thing's basically a battle star. It has...
Thanks for translating that.
It has a battle... It's basically a battle... It's your basic battle star setup. This thing has massive weaponry to support fighter wings that it can deploy. and it's primarily geared towards looting and holding loot. And planetary and the drop pod base means that it can just drop people onto the surface of a planet for a quick attack.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is essentially a armada condensed into one single ship.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Though it technically is a class of a light cruiser, it's much bigger than a traditional light cruiser and much more armed to the teeth. It is Korn at his finest, shoving as much weaponry and murder as he can into the smallest available package.
Yeah, basically.
It's
But
a
it is
murder
just-
machine.
But it is just one ship, and unfortunately we can't exactly call in the local Imperial fleet to help out with this.
Exactly. If you could, this wouldn't be as much of an issue.
But since we're just a small frigate without,
Yeah. Taking it on, especially since it does have launchable crafts, which you've seen screaming around planet surfaces before and terrorizing locals. Those can be used in space combat, by the way, even if they are also can be used in, like, atmosphere.
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned.
Yeah, he effectively has 2 support craft that are just sitting on the ship, as well as the main attack force, which you cannot scan because they are not currently on your radar, so to speak.
I have a dumb idea.
Oh god.
I have a dumb idea. All right, Diego.
Okay, so hear me out. Have you ever seen there's this one movie that you may not have seen. It earned quite a bit of buzz in its day. It doesn't really have much of a cultural impact beyond a couple scenes. Have you seen Rogue One?
I'm aware of it. I have not seen it.
I have seen it, although it was a very long time ago.
What if we tried to push the ship into the atmosphere?
Oh.
A controlled crash right into the midsection of the ship, maybe right on top of one of the launch bays, and we just push it into the atmosphere and let the gravity well do its job.
Just up and just destroy the ship? And
No, we crash the ship.
One thing you're noticing as you're scanning the ship, you get the overarching information, and then you get information roughly on individual parts of the ship. One thing you're noticing is an acute lack of life signs. Basically everywhere. It's as if the ship is still in orbit, but at least half of the crew, maybe more, just vanished. Overnight.
So it has the capacity to hold about
20,000 crew plus 100,000 additional people. What I'm saying is currently it has about maybe 20,000. It has basically the ship crew that's running it, and basically most of the raiders seem to have up and disappeared.
Which means only captives and crew members, no soldiers.
Yep, Carnicus and his ship crew themselves, and basically all the Cornate Berserkers that would normally be housed on the ship. It seems like they vanished mysteriously.
Perfect. We take the ship, then we crash it, stranding Carnicus on the planet's surface.
I'm down.
Cause think, if we can take the ship and free the captives, transfer them onto our own ship, by the time Carnicus starts to leave atmosphere, we'll already have scuttled his Iron Fang. Which means it's just a matter of hunting him down on the surface of Neck, which can't... Well, no, the hubris of man.
Mm-hmm.
Which shouldn't be really that hard, because he'll then be trapped with dwindling supplies and, men.
Sounds like a plan, boss.
Am I being stupid for suggesting we try and just take the ship now?
Kinda. But fuck it, we ball.
Smidge. But fuck it, we ball.
You basically have nothing to lose given the lack of crew on the ship currently. At the very least, just launching a boarding party to see what the fuck is going on. And if you need to pull out, you need to pull out. But, I mean, a crew running with minimal crew is heavily crippled. So honestly, launching a boarding party would not be a bad idea.
Yeah, because I'm also thinking of taking out the ship while we leave.
That may be more complicated, but at least scouting it out right now, that shouldn't be hard.
All
Or
right,
stupid.
here's what we're gonna do. We'll launch a boarding party to investigate the ship, and potentially lay the groundworks for an internal sabotage. We'll keep the Sun's Heart out of range of its weaponry, and at the first sign of trouble, we extract the package and assets as quickly as we can. And if we can't blow a few things up on the way, then we just do that. Although, ideally, we'd be able to take out the Iron Fang here and now, we'll have to play it by ear. Prepare the boarding pods.
Understood, boss.
Master Vandergrim,
Yes.
Arisen,
Yes, Captain?
with me. We're going to need...
Understood.
I want my finest warriors on the front lines with me as we investigate the ship.
Understood.
Be warned. Cornate vessels are usually filled to the teeth with warriors and berserkers. So, resistance, even if it may be minimal, will still be quite fierce. Alright, let's go.
Question before we do anything else. Is everyone's
Yes.
agility bonuses, is your intelligence higher than your agility bonuses?
Not in the case of Urzen.
Oh.
My agility is higher than my intelligence by 1.
My agility is also higher than my intelligence by 1. It's 51 versus 50.
Okay,
For
cool.
me, it's 44 versus 43.
Alrighty, I just need your bonuses, so I am not taking that talent. Alright, cool.
Okay. Gradius, you're going to probably end up going to the landing with Clovis. However, launching the boarding party itself is still up to your capabilities. Let me real quickly look up boarding actions and what you need to roll. However, I know that you do get some bonuses, I believe, because your ship is cool. That's the Cronus Expanse. Starships. Not engines crippled, not damage and defenses. I want actions. Hit and run. Kill the enemy. It's weapons and shooting. I need to find it. Hold on. Alright, Will. Do you have the command skill on Gradius?
Yes, I do.
Please roll me command plus 20
Command plus 20?
to launch the boarding action.
And if you're asking for, you mean basic or trained?
Either.
Okay. It is just a basic. This is gonna go swimmingly. Ooh, this is gonna go really bad.
Would you like to spend a fate point to re-roll that?
It's not even worth it. It's just 14 plus 20 equals 35. Or 34.
I mean, that's a 33% chance, and you rolled an 87.
Uh-huh.
You have a lot of degrees of failure, and you can't really get much worse.
I'll spend
I
a fate
just
point.
re-roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck me running.
I'm gonna give plus 10 to that.
Yeah, okay, make fail less. Alright, so that's a 44, 2 degrees of failure. Alright. Gradius, you raided a lot of ships. You've never raided a Cornate ship. You're used to pirates. You're used to Xenos. You've never fought Chaos. You launch and keep in connection over the Vox network for a couple minutes while Clovis's own forces are assembling to be taken by Arvis Lighter to Carnicus's ship. And things don't go terribly. In fact, considering you are fighting followers of Chaos, things go fairly well. They land on the upper decks, they're able to hold their own, establish a foothold. However, you quickly realize that the resistance, despite the low number of crew, is still steep. The Scutari and your units, the ones from the Adeptus Mechanicus, are doing quite well for themselves. However, a lot of your units that are specifically flesh and blood seem to be at a severe disadvantage due to, frankly, just the raw battle prowess of an angry Cornate Berserker.
Mm-hmm.
Though the ship isn't able to be damaged by your primary assault forces, they are serving as a good distraction.
All right. What would the overall progress be now? Like, we lost a decent portion of our men?
You weren't sending, like, that many of your men. A boarding party is not a good portion of your forces.
Mm-hmm.
You probably sent in total a couple thousand men. Not enough to do any damage to your ship's population, though you will need to get some new soldiers next time you get to a planet where you can recruit them or requisition them.
Got it.
Basically, launching another boarding attack at this point would be risky. However, in the grand scheme of things, the losses are able to be replaced.
Mm-hmm. Lord Captain, boarding actions goes according as plan.
Proceed.
Numbers, losses, replaceable.
Lamentable, but inevitable.
Your orders?
Proceed.
Alright, I press on the attack.
Alrighty. Clovis, Matthias, Urzin, and Gradius. You all load aboard the shuttle with Kat, Zavuli, and Commander Verdun. In other words, the three other of your strongest fighters. Urzin, you take the piloting seat and have the not exactly easy task of navigating through macro cannon fire to get your fellow
Do I need to push
retinue
the button?
safely on the ship.
You
need to push the button. Please roll me I was gonna say pilot flyers test minus 40.
That still succeeds.
Alright.
Hold on, let me double check that it still succeeds.
It should.
That's a 70, plus 20 is a 90, minus
40
is 50.
50. You still succeed. You've flown Admiral through worse, you think to yourself. Maybe not for the most legal of reasons, but you've flown Admiral through worse. You're weaving around. Everybody, for roleplay, please roll me a carouse test as Urzin is doing barrel rolls to avoid macro cannon fire.
Maybe I should have grabbed it.
A what test?
Carouse, other than you, Urzin. You're in the pilot seat.
What is carouse?
It's
you don't
toughness.
have to roll.
You don't have to roll, though.
I failed.
Can I use strength?
No, it does have to be carouse. It's a resistance test.
Yeah, I ain't making that. I ain't even get close.
I only have it basic, so that's half my toughness. That's 20, and I rolled a 39.
I had to make a 16, and I rolled a 59. Yeah, I don't know.
Matthias, Clovis, you both are like, God damn, Urzin is like keeping us alive. This is great. But you start feeling very physically ill. You know how when you're going on loop-de-loops on the roller coaster, how you get like dizzy and can get kind of nauseous and motion sick? That's kind of what you're dealing with right now as the ship is spitting, flying up and down, this and that way, looping around, fire to try and get in range to dock. Gradius, you don't really have... Yeah, Gradius, you don't really have much of a stomach left. However, your augments are basically screaming every which way about how currently everything is wrong. They're basically screaming about how, no gravity, too much gravity, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, you're getting alerts all over your visor about how currently everything is going wrong, even though, logically nothing is wrong.
So
like that, yes.
Yeah. I just sneezed.
Eventually, after a
Do
couple...
you have a central respiratory system?
Yes,
Not
he does.
anymore.
Well,
yes,
not
yes,
really.
Yes,
Kind
yeah,
of.
more like I would say
Yesent.
yesent.
Yeah, yesent is a good way to put it. Kind of, sort of. Actually, you don't need to breathe.
No, he doesn't.
So probably not, actually.
You all land upon... That's why it's so weird to see Gradius sneeze. You all land... You dock upon the ship. Your forces get out. The second Arvis lighter makes it there safely as well. And as you all kind of, like, walk out of the shuttle, you're all, like, real fucking dizzy, except for Urzin. You're patting yourself on the back for a job well done. I'm giving you guys time to roleplay if you wish before we continue.
Oh.
Matthias, like, took his mask off in order to, like, steady himself, because it's probably, I assume, a smidge bit harder to see under that thing. So he's fanning himself with it, and he goes, I have never had a ride that rocky before, as he, like, puts it back on his face.
I got you here alive, didn't I?
Appreciated.
Clovis is sort of rooted firmly into his chair, and he's trying his best not to look that discombobulated by what just happened, but because he's been through some shit as part of his work in the Inquisition, but this seems to have rattled him quite a bit.
You okay, Lord Captain?
Yes, I'm fine.
You sure?
Now then. Yes. Now then. He tries getting up and you see him, like, stumble very briefly before playing it off. Let us see what horrors await us in this fucking ship.
Matthias offers a hand to Clovis.
He does not take it.
Alright.
Verd and Sevuli, as well as Castiel, basically come out of the other shuttle with, like, a squadron of enforcers. You see Verdant basically pump his fist. Woo! Best flying I've had since, oh god, a raid on that one orc vessel about a decade ago. Great flying, guys! He basically high-fives his pilot.
Irizen's gonna trot off as a happy little goat.
Alright, everyone, listen up.
Are cows closer to goats or horses?
Goats, I would say.
Vaguely goats.
Yeah.
Vaguely goats.
Alright, listen up, everyone. We all know the score. Somewhere aboard this ship is a Catachan jungle fighter, an Inquisition asset. He is to be provided any and every amenity he asks and demands for in exchange for his safe extraction off this ship. In the meantime, keep your eyes peeled out for an artifact that looks like this. And he pulls out a tablet image of what the key looks like.
The keys, yeah. They all look vaguely similar. They look like Necron technology made into a key. You see all the enforcers give a nod, and you see that Cat actually brought a couple of her fellow missionaries, and they all give you the sign of the Aquila. We'll look out for it, sir.
Cat. I keep thinking of Goose.
No.
Wrong
Not
cat.
Goose. Wrong cat.
Remember, this is a coordinate vessel. Any undue episodes of bloodlust, murderous rage, or anything of the sort amongst your peers is a sign of corruption of the archenemy. You know what to do if that happens.
The missionary look at the enforcers, do a couple of, like, holy signs, and put a hand on their flamers.
And remember, we are also aboard a coordinate vessel. Feel free to burn down any effigies, shrines, or what have yous. We're not here to make the place livable. And preferably, we'll do as much damage on the way out. Captain Verdun.
Gradius is going to tell his Skitarii to essentially place explosives alongside anything that looks vital, so like vital structural parts of the ship as they get through them.
Right.
Captain Verdun, make sure that the shuttles are guarded. They are away off this ship.
Yes, sir. He kind of gestures to what appear to be a small, collection of voidsmen. Even if the place gets depressurized, we'll make sure the shuttles are here. And if it does get depressurized, he kind of gestures into, like, basically the lighter they came on. We have extra void suits for important personnel in the back. We'll deliver them to you as quickly as we can.
He nods. All right then. Good hunting. And remember, the only good heretic is a dead one.
Cardinal Law salutes you and basically gestures for the enforcers and her missionaries to follow her. The Emperor protects everyone.
Clovis does a quill up and he draws his Ripper pistol.
All right.
Gradius,
Sir?
can you trace the signal's transmission from here?
I take out my little scouting device to give me a +10. Is this tech use?
This is going to be tech use, yes, because the distress beacon is still firing off. It's never stopped.
Alrighty. I succeed.
You hear a couple sounds of static. Hello? Who is this?
I hold up the speaker or the Vox caster to to the rogue trader.
A friend at dusk.
Oh, thank the god, Emperor. There's like, you basically hear him mutter something, in obviously some sort of military dialect, to someone around him. Back in Molesky, I'm assuming you're from the vessel I hailed.
Your lucky day. Where are you right now?
Are you docked in the shuttle bays?
Yes.
Alright. To put it simply, down the hall, you should see a giant set of double doors about, I'd say, 1/10 of a kilometer down the way. You'll know them when you see them, covered in symbols of chaos, blasphemous things. It's where all of the entertainment, including myself and my men, have been held.
Gladiatorial combat, I assume?
Yes. For the Cornate's amusement, of course.
Well, sporting of them. They never know what to do with their captives unless it's fighting for entertainment.
Unfortunately. I should tell you, be careful. There's been some phenomena aboard the vessel recently.
I can only imagine. Stay put. We are coming to extract you and your men.
Yes, sir.
Gradius, you know the way.
You see a couple of tactical blinking as Gradius is ordering his Skitarii units to move in a certain particular formation. And then from there, Gradius just nods back and he walks forward.
Alrighty.
So chain X at the ready. Also, just for clarification's sake, I am bringing the Gauss cannon with me too.
Alright.
Wait, does that require exact weapon training?
Yes, it does.
I cannot use it, so I might as well just leave it back on the ship. So, nix that. Alright. Let's do this.
Alright.
As we're walking, can I stealth?
Yes, please roll me silent move.
Okay. Silent move. There it is. That is okay.
Hey,
What's the difference between silent move and concealment?
Concealment is concealing while still, and silent move is stealthing while moving.
I just barely fail by 6.
would I
okay.
be able to do that?
Can I give you a +10 for that?
Absolutely.
Matthias,
it.
you're stealthed.
Yippee.
Tam, yes.
Okay, let's see. That's agility. So that's a 70.
Silent move.
That fails. Never mind.
Alrighty. You all make your way down the hallway, and the first thing you notice, Gradius, you kind of have your augments are beeping, guiding you in the right direction. The first thing you notice is the halls are empty. There's no coordinates anywhere. No blood sports going on, no screaming, no raucous laughter, no praising of chaos. You take down altars as you go. Hallways are coated with blood and viscera. Fresh blood and viscera. However, any living beings seem suspiciously absent. The other thing you notice is the further you get into the vessel, you all start to notice a slight headache pounding behind your eyes, and every so often, you feel like you hear screams coming from some unknown corridor, just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You reach it, you look around, and no one. Just more piles of blood and gore.
I did try warning my people that this was what we were going to run into.
Clovis.
Matthews deals with this normally.
As you are I'm assuming, Clovis, actually, you're right up next to Gradius. Leading the charge.
I'm pretty much behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then Gradius. You eventually come to a giant set of double doors, just as the Katachan fighter described. They're massive, the symbol of Khorne painted upon them in what can only be described as a mixture of all different types of blood. Black blood, blue blood, Xenos blood, human blood, even the blood of what appears to be other daemons. And the second you see it, Gradius, the migraine gets worse and worse and worse until your vision feels like it's about to go black. Please roll me a willpower test.
Yay.
Oh, wait, who?
You.
The flesh is weak makes me immune to psychic attacks.
This is not a psychic attack.
Or mind-influencing effects.
This is a mind-influencing effect, so you would not be affected. Clovis, you then would be affected. You are right behind him.
I have pure faith. Does that help?
I believe that gives you resistance? Let me look.
Because I have resistance fear. I just bought that. But pure faith, immune to the effects of demonic presence, including negative modifiers to willpower.
Okay, so that just basically means if this had a modifier attached to it, say it had like a -10 modifier, you wouldn't have that. So you're just rolling flat.
So just a flat 47.
Mm-hmm.
To avoid fear.
Not fear necessarily, but warp phenomena.
Warp phenomena.
Right.
Chaos, weird shit.
I like how the music's becoming a lot more ominous.
Well, I could spend a fate point, but since you specified warp phenomena, and that is not specified in the tenets of pure faith, I'm gonna roll.
Alrighty. There's no bad penalty for failing this, by the way. I'm just telling you right now. It's a roleplay beat.
I'm re-rolling that. Fuck that.
Okay, yeah, that's a critical failure. I agree with that.
45! I beat it by 2.
Yay!
Alrighty. As your vision goes black and screens begin to overrun your mind, you kind of shake your head to clear it. And instead of basically succumbing to whatever was trying to take over your mind, all that's left is a single vision. This exact spot, seemingly only a little while prior. A squad of Khornates guarding the door. Suddenly, a scream, a horrible roar rings out throughout the ship as all of their bodies implode as they pray for their salvation. You realize you're all standing in blood.
Damn, is the door bleeding? That's metal.
That's metal.
We might need to get tetanus shots after this.
We definitely need to get tetanus shots after this.
You all,
Yes.
as you kind of take a closer look at your feet as your footsteps begin to come wet, shards of bone, organs, you see like some brain matter on the walls. It looked like a whole bunch of people just got imploded from the inside out where you're standing.
Is there, are we able to deduce what kind of ritual this might be related to?
Orn.
I know
Khorne.
it's corn, but like, are we able to,
Khorne?
able to tell?
Khorne, the
whether-
blood god.
Oh,
That's why we're saying cornate, because it's an adjective for anything relating to corn.
Yes.
okay.
Let me pull up the Forbidden Lores. Do any of you have Forbidden Lore Daemonology?
No.
I have Forbidden
No.
Lore Heresy. Let me check.
I have Forbidden Lord Xenos.
I also
I
have
have-
Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Forbidden Lore Heresy would work, Diego, if you want to roll it.
Yeah! That is intelligence, and that is a 50. Okay, so I have a 50-50 chance of getting this right. Did I get another 96?
Yeah, please re-roll that, because that's, suspicious.
16!
Okay.
Clovis, as you kind of look at the evidence, the giant symbol on the door, you frown. Those whoever was here wasn't simply killed in a normal ritual murder or, offering to Corn. They were sacrificed for some very specific purpose. Their essences likely devoured and used by some warp entity to manifest itself in the living realm.
Demons.
Daemons.
Yeah, which could unfortunately mean for us a bloodthirster. No, bloodletter. Yeah, that's the name. Was it bloodthirster or bloodletter? Demons of Corn. I need to look this up.
Big demon of Corn.
Yes, because there's a...
As you're kind of looking around, you also realize that would probably explain the lack of crew.
Right, it probably got loose and started killing shit.
It looks like, as you kind of pieces together in your brain, someone summoned a daemon, and it's running loose.
Yikes.
Yeah.
The Cornates, in the presence of a demon of their faith, likely are just throwing themselves at its feet to be sacrificed to it, or fighting it in ritual combat, not really trying to win, but simply to appease its thirst.
Okay, so I did a double check. A bloodletter is just basically a smaller bloodthirster. Either one is bad news.
Can I vote we run?
No,
Pussies on the ship.
we still need to. We're not done here. We're not gonna turn tail at the first sign of a giant red angry devil with a sword the size of a bus.
Again, we ain't pussies.
We ain't
I'm
pussies.
fucking quoting that, Diego.
Yeah. Also, I got these really awesome abilities. I want to try them on something. Clickety clackities.
Yes.
You see, Irian is... Oh. Capable of killing things. Not good at it, but he's capable.
Matthews is
Also-
very good at killing things.
Also, Tau don't believe in demons.
We don't?
No, they don't.
No,
But-
you guys.
But Urizen
no,
was
Tau,
raised in the Imperium, so...
Yeah, but even beforehand, Tau don't have like. They don't really have much knowledge of the warp or anything demony. Their souls are very, very dim compared to a regular person.
By the way, just so you guys know what a bloodthirster is, I'm posting this in Game General. They look like this.
A
Oh, that's
bloodletter.
horrifying?
Yeah,
Oh,
bloodletter
that
is just.
looks fun.
Yeah, that is a greater demon of Corn. A bloodletter is much smaller and manageable, but either way, they have very comparable attitudes.
A bloodletter is more something like, this. It's much smaller.
A bloodletter is the size. A bloodletter is the size of a person. A bloodthirster is the size of a small kaiju.
Yes.
Oh
It's
god.
big.
Think of it
Well-
like general versus foot soldier.
Can we all collectively agree to that if we see either one, we should get the fuck out?
So what?
You
Potentially.
could a bloodletter you could probably handle if it was just one of them, if I'm being honest.
If it's a small squadron, we have our money's worth, but a
Yeah.
bloodthirster. Clovis would absolutely run at the sight of a bloodthirster.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
that's
would
a fuck
Matthias.
no.
Yeah, Matthias would probably see a giant fucking mini kaiju and be like, "Yeah, I'm out of here, dude. I didn't sign up for this."
I think the
Unless-
entire crew would do the same.
Yeah, unless we're
Matthew's
dealing
fu-
with, unless we're
Go
dealing
ahead.
with like flesh hounds.
Yeah.
Those
No,
are just like
Matthias is insane. He's not stupid.
yeah.
He sees something he can't defeat, he's out of there. That's just how he works. He knows his limits.
Yeah. Anyway, should we
Sometimes.
open the doors?
He knows his limits, except for Tyranids. Yeah, let's open the doors.
Guitari, open the doors.
I nod, and then from there, I just me and one other Skitari just start to pull it apart.
Alrighty. You shove that bitch open.
Mm-hmm.
Deep within the opening the doors deep within the bowels of the ship, you come upon a large hallway filled with rows upon rows of cells. Many are filled with rotting corpses, others with men who have all but succumbed to madness, praying for salvation that will never come in the form of all sorts of blasphemous things. And a few cells filled with dim-eyed Imperial citizens who seem to come back to life upon seeing you. Someone who isn't a follower of Korn. Standing in the middle of the hallway, around a Vox relay, is a small gaggle of roughed-up Astra Militarum soldiers, one of which bearing the lightweight gear of a Catachan jungle fighter, infected wounds and dried blood adorning all of their bodies. As you enter, the Astra Militarum turn and raise their guns. However, the jungle fighter gently pushes the noses of their guns down. Stand down, men. He's with us.
Clovis just looks around and to the people in the cages. Well, Carnicus has been busy.
Yes. He kind of grimly looks at all the bodies, some of which have obviously been killed violently, others just wasted away from prior wounds. He has.
I trust that you are going to make this worth my time.
That I will. He basically looks to you, and basically gestures for the Astra Militarum. I'm not the only one from my regiment here. I'm the only one being held down in the fighting pits. Carnicus wanted to keep the others alive for a personal combat against them. They're currently being held in the upper decks. There's 6 of us total. Granted, the other 5 are still alive.
And
6?
I assume you have something of worth, but only if I provide the safe escorts of your men off the ship.
That would be correct. He kind of, basically looks to you. Recently, Carnicus brought a Necron artifact aboard the ship. One of my men, I'm pretty sure, happens to be aware of the whereabouts of that artifact. I believe you're likely in the system looking for it.
Yes. So it would seem. Gradius! Get this man a gun. The rest of you, head down the hallway and towards the shuttles.
Understood.
I reach
No,
into
I
their,
meant like...
Oh.
No, I meant like Matthias and Urzen stick with me. I'm talking to
Okay.
the rest of the soldiers.
The
My bad.
schmoes that had got... Yeah, the schmoes who had also gotten out.
Oops, I found that.
That was my bad, sorry.
Yeah, so you basically see all the Astra Militarum who look like they've, like, seen Helen back at this point. None of them look quite sane. Think of it like basically staring into the warp. They're all still loyal to the Imperium, but there is just horror behind all of their eyes. As they basically quickly, half sprint, basically, along with, some of your men, to safety.
We'll verify
Second stays behind.
We'll verify which one of them are fit for service and which ones aren't.
I would like to kind of give them like a once-over to see if there's any signs of like heretical markings for I want to see if they're faking their injuries.
No, they all look fairly genuine, like they would have been sustained in gladiatorial combat. Some are even basically missing limbs. And it's a wonder how half of them are still alive. Probably barely, as they're kind of limping towards the ship. None of them bear any symbols of corruption or mutations. Just the general haunted look in their eyes after seeing terrible, horrible things.
Alrighty. Can I do a Medicaid test to make sure that they can move faster?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So Medicaid's intelligence. 58. Alright, cool. I fail.
You're able to patch up a couple of the worst wounds and give a couple of people some good splints. However, you're not, you don't have enough supplies to be able to just kind of get too many of them back into decent shape. There's too many people who are too damaged.
Okay.
Not from lack of trying or lack of competency, but you're in the field.
Okay.
You see Thakin kind of turn to you, Clovis, as they're all leaving. I'm sure you've seen signs of the rapture, so to speak.
It gives the place a bit of a charming atmosphere. At least so lovely when we set it all ablaze.
Ha! Truly. He kind of looks back towards the door, and you can see that the hallway has similar bloodstains and marks of, like, exploded people. It was earlier this cycle. Maybe 8 or so, maybe 12 Terran hours back. Everyone, including me and those of us who had not succumbed to madness, got this unexplainable migraine, and a horrible roar, screech, and snap could be heard, I assume, through the entire ship. Thousands of warp manifestations, previous victims, seemed to manifest all at once before disappearing as all the coordinates down here, and I'm assuming in other places aboard the ship, exploded into piles of viscera as if they were being claimed by some greater entity. It worries me.
Well, that is the one thing I actually like about Cornflakes cultists. They tend to clean up after themselves, just by being themselves.
It's a plus side. He kind of looks towards, the door. However, I believe, potentially, this bodes ill for your mission. Cornicus has been going more and more mad as time goes on, and I'm half wondering if this is another symptom of that.
Well, we all knew we were expecting something of the sort when we came in.
I suppose so. After all, it'd be foolish not to expect it in a vessel of the archenemy, let alone Korn. Blasphemous thing. He kind of kicks the metal beneath him as if he's just kind of disgusted with its entire existence.
Well, lead the way. Show us where your men are being held.
Yes, sir. We may encounter some resistance along the way. I'm not sure how many Cornates still stand.
We'll be ready.
He basically picks up an autogun, that had been left behind by one of the Cornates, as well as what appears to be a, roughed up but serviceable power sword, shoves them on his belt, and kind of gestures for you to follow. I also put a reference for what the guy looks like in the NPC's channel.
Yeah.
Oh, your typical Gata-chan. Got it.
Yes. Alrighty. We're going to take a 5 minute break here as I need to roll stuff for combat.
There.
All right.
I will be back in 5. Everyone will be back here by X10.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Greetings, loyalists. Let's travel the warp.
I know a place where the heretics won't get us. Right, pure and true, with the strength that is enormous. United, me and you, standing with mankind's master. Demons shrink and flee when they see what makes us free. You could travel the warp, but nothing comes close to the golden throne. Once you merge with us, you'll be reborn in faith. Imperium girls were unforgettable. Faith and fire, ceramide on top. Holy flames so hot, we'll melt your heresy. Whoa, 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 oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Imperium girls are unforgettable. Find fresh fears, we got you unlocked. See no scum. Put your hands up. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I can't do that one.
Why not?
He's sleeping in my house and it's midnight.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. There's people sleeping in my house.
Nuh-uh.
There's a god in my head who calls me Stud Muffin.
No. No Matthias.
Yeah. There's bugs in my skin who call me Stud Muffin.
No.
That is horrifying. I'm putting on quotes.
Imperium girls were unforgettable. Faith and fire, ceramide on top.
It's making me think of what sort of pet names, or like what sort of names would Caddy and Zizi call each other?
Anyways, good that call me Stud Muffin. God. I love how Matthias just straight up has never mentioned the bugs. He's so good about keeping that a secret. It hasn't even been offhandedly mentioned yet. He's so good at making sure that no one figures out that he's insane. In that way. Very insane. He laughs when he kills Xenos.
But that's like kind of expected of citizens of the Imperium.
But he also talks to ghost children and let them play in his office.
And has a really good time tormenting Urizen.
He has a great time. I think he loves tormenting Urizen. He also has like an absurd collection of Xenos trophies. Like, absurd. I think it was mentioned, but his mask is made of wraithbone, so bro does not fuck around. If you give him a vaguely human-sized Xenos to kill, it's dead. Pretty quick. And if it doesn't die in one hit...
Almost.
If a Xenos doesn't die in one hit, it means he gets to have even more fun by pumping it full of more holes.
I'm,
He loves doing that.
remedying the fact that I had this encounter written out and then didn't make a map for it.
Oh.
Because, you know, Elune big smart. I'll be recoloring the guys on this map, but I will drag it down now. Everybody should totally go to slide 17.
Oh boy. Damn, I'm all the way back there. Alright, I'm stealth. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why.
That's right, it's because I'm stealth. It's because I'm crazy good at keeping myself a secret.
There, now they're all different shades of red.
By
I
the
feel
way,
like it's appropriate.
I'm eating another thing of Tic Tacs because I got several of them for Christmas. But these ones are significantly not as good as the other ones I had yesterday, because the ones I had yesterday were sour black cherry. These ones are candy cane, which is not as good as sour black cherry. I also had a massive thing of strawberries and cream. I like Tic Tacs. They're really expensive though, so I never buy them for myself.
Sure,
A thing of Tic Tacs in the city is like $3. That's too much for Tic Tacs.
yeah.
I'm paying $1 for Tic Tacs. No more. And Tic Tacs don't cost $1 in this economy, so no Tic Tacs for Skid. And besides, if I wanted a treat, it wouldn't be Tic Tacs, it'd be a bar of Tony's Pepperoni. Because $5 for that humongous fucking bar? Yes, please. Unless it goes up in price, which I will be so sad.
Are we all here?
Yep.
Yeah.
William Henderson. We are not all here.
Alrighty, I'm back.
Welcome.
Has anyone died yet?
No, we haven't even resumed.
Yeah, I fell in the toilet and split and exploded.
Awesome.
It's a child. I have to kill you. There we go.
You're killing children?
Baby zombie. I hate those things.
I do.
Oh, you explode. Yippee.
I was about to say
Oh.
Matthews would kill children, but I think he draws the line at killing children.
That does not make him a good person, believe it or not.
No.
No, it does not. Matthews is a terrible person. It's okay.
All right.
I love him.
Would he kill a Tau child?
Yes.
Okay.
I should have specified human children.
Off limits.
Human children off limits. Slightly corrupted human children. Maybe they could be fixed. Xeno's children, they deserve to die. They'll just breed more. His words.
All right. You all make your way up towards the upper decks of the ship. You all hear scuffling up ahead, frenzied chanting. This is the map where you guys are going to fight, because I'm assuming you're going to kill these guys, but you're not technically there yet. You're a little ways back, you kind of peer around the corner, and these guys should be in a circle. You see a bunch of corn cultists, in robes, basically around what appears to be a sword, a bloodied sword, basically chanting in some heretical language, basically bowing up and down, doing gestures, seemingly conducting some sort of ritual. You
Well.
see, Thacket kind of looks at them and just kind of scoffs. They're in our way.
They are. Clovis draws and lines up a shot.
I would like to say that Matthews would look to Clovis. Unfortunately, Matthews is stealthed
Mhm.
and also has a mask on. But he draws his bolt gun.
Gradius begins to glow ominously in the dark.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
should we
Will.
get
Slide
a-
17 for the map.
Gang, should we get a
Got it.
surprise round on him? Out of context?
We will resolve that when it happens.
Okay.
So as you guys kind of get closer, weapons drawn, you see all of them as if, like, in unison, basically get up, pull out, like, pistols in one hand, knives in the other, and you see them kind of look at each other, and you see them basically point their weapons at you as you kind of get a little closer, as they all scream in perfect unison, "Blood for the Blood God! Skulls for the Skull Throne! Protect the Prince!"
I thought you
Everybody,
were gonna
please
finish
roll
it.
for initiative.
There is no finishing that. That is it. But what you would go afterwards is milk for the cornflake.
Yeah, I was expecting that to. Yeah.
That's more of a meme. The actual line is just
Blood for the Blood God,
God.
Skulls for the Skull Throne.
I'm winning. I rolled
Finally.
max.
Funny.
Finally.
7 plus 2
That's a 6 from me.
is
Yikes.
9.
I had my gun lined up on them and everything, ready to just
Surprise,
surprise them.
surprise. Yours goes first.
Unfortunately, they have the trait that makes them not able to be surprised.
That explains it.
They
So no
see
surprise
me.
rounds, unfortunately.
Do they see
No,
me?
they are corn. Battle's their thing. This is going to be for your handy-dandy NPC companion. $14 for Thakand. Yes, he has paranoia and some other bonuses. No, he doesn't have a 70 agility. He's not Urizen.
Wow.
Special.
And 6 for the cultists, with a +3.
Look, I'm faster because I have the +5.
Yes. Clovis is just better. Urizen, you are up first.
I am up first. That is how
This is too epic for fighting fucking grunt cultists.
I was
Hold on.
gonna say
Yeah.
this is really
is too epic.
dramatic
Yeah.
for fighting some cultists.
This was for later. I don't know why I used it now. This is like
You might want to put this on loop. I'm sending it to you now.
oh wait, hold on. What are you sending me?
Hang on, let me DM it to you. This is you might need to loop this.
I can loop it. Oh my fucking god! Yeah, sure, fine. We can use that instead.
Oh yeah.
All right, I have like 18 tabs open right now. Urizen, what would you like to do?
map again. Shooting bit.
Blast him.
Yep.
Anyways, I started blasting. Roll a ballistic skill test. So anyways, you did not start blasting. You miss. Urizen, you're kind of like taken aback by their furious yelling as you shoot, and you kind of flinch as they scream, and it whizzes right over one of their shoulders.
He's just a scared little guy. Oh,
You go to steady your aim for the second, and you notice one of them, it starts like, they all basically start charging forward, and you're kind of like, oh god!
what
And
I
you
by
shoot-
chance use a fate point?
Oh yeah, you can.
Just cause I don't want to be completely useless. That's better.
You hit.
That. Yes.
What guy are you shooting?
The one right in front of me.
This one.
Yes.
The one I'm making green. Alright, roll the hit.
You mean roll damage?
Yeah, that.
6 damage.
Okay, what is your penetration? Oh, never mind, these guys don't technically have any armor.
2.
Just 6, but they do have a toughness bonus, so he takes that many damage. You shoot him, and you see it, like, bury itself into his arm, and he's still screaming and coming right for you.
I can't do anything.
Okay, next up in initiative is Matthias. You are stealth. You'll get a +30 on your first shot.
Oh baby. So the green one's been hit.
Mm-hmm.
Can I hit this one with a what the fuck is what's it called? Can I do a full auto burst on that guy?
Roll with a +60, sir.
Okay. I need to roll an 104 to fail.
Or a critical fail.
Or a critical fail. That is a 52.
With a rate of fire of 4, you hit all 4 shots on that guy. Please roll damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you kill him, but please roll damage for how much you overkill him.
For how much I got to be careful with heretics, you know. So it's what? That's 4d10, right?
Plus 4 times your modifier, yes.
Oh god, plus 4 times my modifier. Oh. 20.
Yeah.
39.
You blast his head off, blast straight through his heart, and then take off 2 of his legs. He's dead.
Bolter Gaming.
Bolter Gaming. Matthews kind of like looks at the rest of the party and goes, I'm not the biggest fan of heretics. I'm sure you've noticed. Back to it. And that's the end of my turn.
You hear Thacken yell back at you, "I'd be worried if you were!"
Some people think I am by the way I dress. Common
He doesn't
misconception.
respond to that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, he's going to charge at the guy that Urzin just shot. Well, and his weapon skill is...
I love turning people to mush.
He's a melee fighter, so he has a good weapon skill. I'm going to tell you right now, his weapon skill is 48. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but given NPCs normally don't have the best stat blocks, that is very high.
Yeah, honestly.
He succeeds! By 1! Alright, he has a power sword and a strength of exactly 40. He's a Death Worlder, it makes sense, but where is the power sword? I actually don't have it pulled up right now. Not talents, I want the armory. Here it is. Not ammunition, not hallucinogen grenades.
I think you want to pull up hallucinogen grenades.
I don't think I want to pull up hallucinogen grenades. Okay, melee weapons, here we go. Power weapons, power sword. 1d10 plus 5. Alright, plus 4 is a 1d10 plus 9. $12? Okay, he kills this guy. Urzin, you basically shoot the guy, it staggers him, and you watch as Thacken runs up and just slices this guy's gut clean open as he falls to the ground. That guy is dead.
Plenty of
That's
blood
full
for the blood
action.
god.
Next up is Gradius.
Alrighty.
Will?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, how many squares is the length here? 1 meter?
Yeah, squares are 1 meter. Okay. I'm assuming you're charging?
Yes, I am doing a charge.
You do have a plus 10 plus whatever bonuses are provided by your weapon for this.
52 plus 15 is 67.
Hey, Diego!
Yo.
Will's failing by, 7 currently.
Take the 10.
Alrighty. So that makes it become a hit.
Hey, he's gonna try and parry you, but parrying power weapons without a power weapon is a shitty idea, so he's not gonna do that.
Alrighty. D10 plus 15. 17 points of damage.
Oh! Gradius, you cut this guy in half vertically.
Okay.
Threw the skull down through his dick, perfectly in half. That guy's
Hey.
dead.
Yay! And then I just turn ominously toward the other guys. Got lots of blood in you, don't you?
They don't seem scared and just go to try and stab you anyways, if they're alive at that point. Clovis, you're up.
Alright. Just going to reposition myself here.
Alrighty, that's a
And
half
blast
move.
the pink one.
Blast the pink one. Okay, please roll with your Ripper Pistol.
That's a 78. Shit.
You're in close range, so you have a plus 10 plus whatever bonuses are provided by your weapon.
Yes. This is a good quality.
So it's plus 5. So
That's
plus
a
15
15.
total.
Plus 15. Ballistic skills 52, so that's 67.
Unfortunately, you fail. You get very close to hitting him. Just barely. You see it basically... They do have, like, coordinate shoulder pads that kind of have, like, the symbol on it. You see it basically rip off his shoulder pad, but it doesn't quite do any damage to him.
Damn it, and I already used my half move.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do?
That is pretty much it, unless you have free actions.
No, I don't have any reactions right now.
Alrighty, then it is the heretics. Okay, these guys have swords.
As do I.
These guys have chain swords.
As do I.
I have a chain axe.
Charge. charge. Alrighty, these guys have a weapon skill of 25. Give it up for their shitty weapon skill. I'll roll these in public because these guys are shitty. Well, the first guy hits Gradius with 2 degrees of success with a natural 5.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to parry, Will?
Parry is weapon skill, right?
Yeah, it's weapon skill. You have to meet or exceed 2 degrees of success.
Okay.
I guess I have a 35 technically because he has a plus 10, so that's 3 degrees of success. But... I mean, he's a corn cultist. How hard can he hit?
Yeah. Well, I also have like a
shit ton of armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
But roll a parry anyway. Okay. You can't jam on a parry, however you do not parry.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens other than you just kind of go to parry him, and you're kind of still recovering from the force of your last swing.
Mm-hmm.
And he does manage to get through your guard. He has a chainsword, which is going to be... Oh, it has tearing. Okay. He doesn't actually do 2d10 damage. I just need to roll for the higher number. Natural 10, that is 15 points of damage with a penetration of 2. Will, what is your armor plus toughness?
My armor is 9, and my toughness it is 5, so 14.
Okay, we reduce your armor by 2, so we bring it down to 12. You take 3 points of damage.
Alrighty.
You see this guy run up to you. He revs up his chainsword. He breaks through your guard, and he basically clinks against your metal augments, and he's, through your skin into, the metal of your flesh, and he tries to cut through, but eventually he's forced to pull his chainsword back. It hurts a little bit, but you expected much worse. Next is the guy who is attacking Clovis. He needs to beat a 35. What is with these guys? Apparently they really want blood for the blood god.
I'd be disappointed if they weren't.
Alrighty, he's going to be doing 11 damage. If he... Clovis, would you like to try and parry?
Yes, that's
at
my
least
weapon skill,
they're not
folks.
Aragorn.
What do you have as your sword?
It's a balanced Hecate pattern chainsword.
Oh, same thing he has. Okay, in addition, given it's balanced, you have a plus 10 to parry plus any other bonuses.
So that's a plus 15, because this is
Plus
good quality.
Yeah, alright, roll weapon skill test with plus 15. He has 1 degree of success, which you need to beat or exceed in order to parry.
26.
I'm assuming you do!
I have the 58. With the
Yeah,
bonuses.
you basically, he goes to slash into you, you parry him, and you basically, shove him back. Think shove in Dark Tide style, as he stumbles backwards.
I'm honestly imagining Dishonored.
That too. He does not hit, and lastly, the guy who is trying to hit your lovely NPC companion. He misses wildly. He goes to slash, and you see Thakin just kind of sidestep out of the way as the chainsword makes a horrible noise as it grinds against the metal of the floor. Next round, Urizen, you're up. Keep in mind, all of these guys are currently engaged in melee.
Shooting them is a bad idea.
Shooting them incurs a minus 20 penalty.
So shooting them is a bad idea. Is half move your agility bonus?
Yes.
Yes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to move and stabby.
Hey, roll a weapon skill test.
No.
You go to stab him,
Ah.
and he's currently engaged in combat with someone else, and you expect him to basically swing one way, he swings the other, and your sword hits open air.
Uh-huh.
That's 2 half actions. Is that the end of your turn?
Apparently.
Alrighty. Matthias, you're up.
My turn. It's time to shoot some cultists.
Your favorite.
My favorite. Well, not Matthew's favorite. Maybe Skid's favorite. So there's a guy on my Lord Captain.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Who
like
just
that.
got shoved and basically no you'd by the Lord Captain.
Wonderful. Can I shoot him?
Yes, you will have a plus 10 from close range and a minus 20 from shooting into melee, so you will roll at a minus 10.
Okay, can I just semi-auto him for funsies?
That'll give you a plus 20, so you'll have plus 30 total, so you roll with a plus 10.
Okay, lovely. Fuck it, we
Each
ball.
2 degrees of success is an extra shot.
Sick. Alright, Alright, cool. Oh, that's 2 degrees of success.
So you hit twice. Please roll
I do
your
hit
damage.
twice. That is actually my rate of fire for semi-auto. That's fun.
Woo!
2d10 plus 10. 16.
Okay, you blast one shot into his side, the other shot into his skull. Clovis, you shove the guy back, and Matthias from the back line snipes him and kills him.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Let's get it.
Kind of like
that's
Marvel Rivals.
It is kind of like Marvel Rivals. Us when Marvel Rivals brain rot. That's the end of my turn. Yeah.
Alrighty, Gradius, you're up.
Alrighty, I'm gonna use an all-out attack.
Okay, what does that do?
That gives me a plus 20 to my weapon skill. And it counts as a full action.
Okay.
Okay. So I rolled a 26.
Okay, how many degrees of success is that to decide if these guys can parry?
I rolled with the plus 25, it becomes a 1. So let's see. Never mind. Let's see. I misinterpreted that entirely. My weapon skill, it is. Let me pull it up. 52 plus 25 is 77.
77. 5 degrees of success. They literally are physically incapable of dodging or parrying. Please roll your damage.
Alrighty.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Coughing baby versus nuclear bomb.
Literally! Oh my
So
god.
I swing at for 24 points of damage.
Your last swing was vertical, this one is sideways. His head falls and basically goes flying into the wall, whichever wall you choose on one of the sides of the battlefield. He's dead.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And, so I have this ability, this nice fancy new ability called, let me pull it up.
Oh no.
Called Furious Assault.
God, okay, let me look at this talent. Furious Assault. The explorer's speed of martial prowess allows him to land several blows where lesser companions land one. If he successfully hits his target using knowledge attack action, you may spend his reaction to make an additional attack. Okay, but there's no one in your range.
Yeah, so, thing is though, I can still yeet something, can I?
Oh, absolutely!
Yeah, so what I'm
You're gonna throw your axe?
So, no, I'm not throwing my axe. I'm gonna just throw the head off my axe. Or, basically swing the torso at an enemy.
So,
okay,
like golf.
Sure! You have mechadendrites! Roll your weapon skill with the same modifiers to yeet a corpse at someone!
Yay!
I'll let you do that! You have extra limbs!
Alrighty, plus 25.
You fail by 12.
Yes, I do.
Urzin!
Yes.
You watch as a whole-ass corpse comes flying towards the guy you're fighting, hits him in the arm, doesn't really do any damage. However, Gradius looks very pleased with himself.
Holy shit.
And then from there, you just hear, just my armor just glowing in the darkness as I'm covered in blood.
Careful, please. But also, good job.
Clovis,
Okay.
you're up!
That's my turn.
Yeah, Clovis, you're up.
That guy hit me. He mathematically couldn't hit me, and I'm pissed at that.
I'm gonna whack him with my sword.
He mathematically couldn't have done any damage, Will, if he rolled, anything less than maximum.
Yes, exactly. He rolled fucking max.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Yeah, that did not look like a roll.
Yeah. Off by 4.
No! Unfortunate.
That's all I can do.
Alright. I just realized, Will, with that fucking Furious Assault ability, you're becoming, You're running over people with your semi-truck both backwards and forwards every turn now. God fucking damn it. Alright, anyway.
Oh yeah, there's also another ability called I think it was called Surefire, where I'm actually able to target any body part with a melee attack, regardless of what I hit.
Okay. Cool. That only applies to bosses where I'd use critical damage, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
I'm also planning to get Crushing Blow to get a +2 in my melee
please
damage.
stop! Alright! Anyway, the one surviving heretic now gets a turn.
So, there's baby freight trains, Alun, and there's Warhammer freight trains.
Okay, I get it! Jesus Christ.
I want everything to die.
Yes, I understand! Tam, pick 1,
Yes.
2, or 3.
3.
Diego, pick 1 or 2.
2.
He is a Jungle Fighter.
He's what?
He's going for the jungle fighter.
Okay.
His first attack misses. He gets 2 now because, you know. His second attack misses. 2 swings, both get jumped. Basically, one gets deflected, one he just kind of ducks out of the way of. Top of the round, it is Urzen.
Stabby, stabby, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. And you get 2 this time.
I do. It's amazing.
Roll your first.
No.
You have another one.
I have another one. Stop
What is with
failing.
this one fucking guy? This one fucking guy. Alright,
Corn smiles upon him.
Corin
I'm
smiles upon
helping.
this one fucking guy.
How many how many points do you miss?
20-ish.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
don't worry,
he's fine.
If I was able to ask Diego, I would have asked Diego.
Urizen, this is the most obnoxious corn cultist you've met. You haven't met very many corn cultists, but this guy's definitely obnoxious. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Matthias.
Me.
It's a shame it's honestly a shame that he's working for the wrong side.
I know, right?
Alright, fucking. There's just this one guy?
Yep.
Why is everyone crowded around him like that?
Because there was only one guy!
And because shooting into melee gives us a negative modifier. If anyone could land a shot, it's probably you.
It is probably me, realistically, if we're thinking about it. So it's what is it to shoot into melee?
Minus
What's
20.
the minus 20? Okay. So if I full auto burst and have the plus 10 from close range, then I have a plus 10.
Plus 20 total.
Okay, I'd have a plus 20 total. Okay, yeah, let's do a full auto burst. Let's see if we can hit it, folks.
If you miss, there will be consequences.
Let's see. I'm using a fate point.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Please reroll, because that's an Avray thing. Okay,
That's
well, you
worse.
still miss.
Uh-oh. That's bad. I can't use
Clovis?
another fate point.
You can't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Clovis and Urzen, please roll me agility tests.
Can I shoot Urzen?
Hey!
Can you shoot specifically Urzen? No, this is blue.
Friendly fire when no one's listening. Oh, no one's looking.
That's a pass on my end.
Tam, agility.
I wonder if yours is as good at agility.
Okay, you both pass. I am rolling for your guy. He has an agility of 51. Basically all three of you managed to duck and cover as Matthias' shots, he lets out 4 shots. 2 fly towards Urzen, 1 flies towards Clovis, who ducks. Doesn't hit the heretic, though. And 1 flies towards Thakin, who kind of like sidesteps out of the way as he turns around. Watch yourself, Seneschal!
Oh, I've been watching. I just don't like it when they duck. Well, that's the end of my turn, guys. Good luck.
Alrighty. Let's see if Thakin can hit this fucking guy. Alright, Mr. Weapon skill of 42. That misses. Oh my Good! Okay, no one can hit this fucking guy. That's the end of his turn. Gradius, please hit this fucking guy.
Alrighty, choo-choo, motherfucker. I will.
I'm assuming you're charging.
I am going to do a charge.
Strike's a thing in this game.
Yeah, well,
what
you
a thing in this game?
roll damage.
Yeah.
What was the question, Tim?
Are unarmed strikes a thing in this game?
Yes, but they're very bad.
19.
19.
If you're
But
trying to...
Gradius, you come
Yes.
out of left field, screaming across the battlefield as the bolter fire, as everyone ducks for under the bolter fire, you come screaming in and just rip this guy's chest open. His heart is impaled on your axe as you rip it out of his body. He's dead.
Yay!
Don't mind the splash zone, as I guess in a way, I basically turned this guy to a geyser of blood in front of my comrades.
It did.
Uh-huh.
Impressive.
And then Gradius, he kind of
I
like,
don't-
he one of his mechadendrites pulls out like a small little tiny handkerchief, and it basically hovers right in front of the rogue trader.
I'm fine.
As this guy is basically gargling on the ground, you hear him wheezing as he's speaking. The prince! You will never get...
Before he
The prince!
finishes, when he says the prince, I just immediately have one of my mechadendrites just slowly just crush his skull.
He finished the statement, then you hear like a crunch as his skull gets like crushed in your mechadendrite, and he is definitely dead.
Like a watermelon between a woman's legs. Exploded.
I love this job. I say out of character. Hopefully my bloodthirstiness doesn't actually affect any kind of actual useful information.
You
It'll be
crushed his
fine.
skull. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, I keep forgetting the jungle fighter's name.
His name
Second.
is Thakand.
Second.
Yes,
Shall
sir.
we continue?
Yes. He kind of looks, and you see him kind of, like look at basically the circle like the blood circle around the sword that's still sitting there. Do you have a flamer by any chance?
No.
Incendiary devices? Grenade?
Does a
Gradius,
lighter count?
Gradius is going to signal one of his Skitarii to bring in the flamer.
Alrighty. You see Thakand take it, basically look towards the circle, and basically light, all the effigies and stuff in it ablaze. As he hands it back to the Skitarii.
Oh,
Yes. Now I'm ready.
So, Loon, upon further review, can I also mention something about the flesh is weak?
Yes.
So, what's the likelihood of getting a flaming chainsword?
Not right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say not right now.
Okay, cool. Because according to the flesh is weak, if something's on fire, I do additional points of armor damage. So my armor is 9. So if I have a flaming chainsword, that means I add an additional 9 points of damage to it.
Not right now.
But I want it. I'm kidding.
Anyway.
Diego.
He
you
kind of
just-
like watches as the idol and everything just kind of burns. Ugh. Words can't describe how much I cannot wait to get out of here.
I have a squadron of missionaries patrolling the ship, setting everything ablaze.
Good. All of this is an offense to the light of Terra. And I've been dealing with it for... You see him kind of like take out some figures, try and count, and he just kind of shakes his head. Time flows differently in the warp. Too long.
So it does.
You can hold on to that flamer, by the way.
He just puts it on the other, basically tosses the shitty auto gun aside. I think I will, at least for now. Thank you.
Gradius.
Lead the way.
So Gradius just looks away.
Alrighty. As you
Catachan is so
guys
cool.
basically continue on forward, everything goes fairly smoothly. You get into a couple more scuffles, but at this point, you basically have, you're into the place where your boarding party has already kind of cleared through. You're retracing steps, so to speak, so the hallways are still fairly empty. You shoot a couple of guys along the way, but it's no fights worth noting. And eventually, you get to a part, you start hearing heavy footsteps around you. Kind of as if something is lurking.
Oh no.
The scratching of claws on metal, per se.
Oh no.
Clovis looks to everyone and just signals, hide.
Hiding. I would like to
Here's
hide.
Please roll me
disappear.
concealment.
Finally, I get to roll concealment.
I did not have it trained still, so that's a 25 on me.
Can I spell? Where is concealment?
Holy shit, I made it.
Clovis, damn!
1 point to spare. Clovis disappears.
I have.
So small problem.
Reroll.
That makes it for me.
So not small problem.
That's 3 degrees of success for me.
Let me check the Catachan Jungle Fighter's stat block. He has a plus 20 to concealment. He needs to beat a 71. He does.
Will, are you concealed?
Hell the fuck no.
Reroll and I can give you a plus 10 if you need it.
I love how you guys don't even know what this thing is. You're just like, everyone hide!
That's the thing though, it's like, do I really want to spend the fate point? Because I already spent 1, and there's 3,
Yes. Yes, you do. We don't know what this thing is, but I don't think you want to find out that it's evil the hard way.
Alrighty, if I get a plus 10, let me see if I even succeed. That's a no, Chief.
Oh, no.
Alright.
So, as everyone just kind of like runs and hides, I'll just have Gradius just turn around.
Gradius. Coming down the hallway is
Oh, God.
a very horrible looking abomination. I'm gonna put it in enemies. It appears to be an amalgamation of flesh, claws, bone,
Fuck.
stitched together to make a horrendous monstrosity as it comes stomping down the hallway.
Oh, that's a chaos spawn.
It locks eyes with you, Gradius.
Can we not fuck with that?
And
God
it
damn it.
screams. A horrible shrieking sound. As everyone who's in hiding has to cover their ears. Gradius, you're basically, your augments just kind of tone down the ambience a bit, and it becomes bearable.
Mm-hmm.
And it just tilts its head at you. It doesn't lurch forward. Not yet, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But it does take a couple of thumping steps closer. This is on slide 18, by the way, for everyone. Thaddeus, who's right next to you, Clovis just kind of whispers, "What the... by the Golden Throne is that?"
Chaos spawn. A failed demon summoning must have created it.
God,
No
Emperor,
wonder-
protect us.
The crew must have been wiped out by the chaos spawn. It has no higher intelligence or reasoning. It is just a creature of pure destruction. A demon always acts in its own interests, even if it requires a great deal of planning to do so. The chaos spawn is just that. An abomination to be put down quickly.
I'm actually going to put you all in the same area so that we could say that everyone can hear this.
Yeah. For the record, remember how in my campaign there was a brief mutiny and the guy turned into a giant monster?
That's what this is.
Essentially, but that was a Zinch flavored Chaos Spawn. This is a corn flavored one.
And the thing is about that too is that corn enemies excel in melee combat.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is stay away from it.
I might be a freight train, but I still go on rails. So, what happens now? Or I'm gonna have Grace say in the Voxcaster, holding our ground or escaping, Lord Captain.
It would be better for us to disengage.
Noted. And then from there, let's see. Let me.
Gradius.
Let's see. Here we go.
Say that. And as you go to run, it lets out a horrendous, terrible screech and flies towards you. Everybody please roll for initiative, just in case you guys need to aid Gradius and, for when you get to run the fuck away.
Alrighty.
That's another 6.
Let me remove my memes because I thought I was putting in the meme channels, not in the.
This is where this music was supposed to come in. Hold on.
There we go.
That's for second.
In the lore, a single Chaos Spawn is a pretty big thing to deal if you're just a regular human schmo.
Yeah. The rogue traders and their retinues are not regular human schmoes. It is still a big boy. The Chaos Spawn acts at initiative 7.
I would like to point out, however, that on the tabletop, 1,000 Suns army is encouraged to use Chaos Spawns as shock troops to capture points and to die real quick. That is the encouraged meta for a Chaos Spawn.
Big boy.
Right.
The Chaos Spawn will be acting before Gradius. It has a higher agility bonus.
Alrighty. What did everybody else roll?
6!
It starts at Clovis's 6, and then you can just order
10.
everyone there. The first roll I did was for Thakin, who exits 17. Who I think is first.
Alrighty. Urzen, what'd you roll?
12.
Skid, what did you roll?
10.
Alright, I think that's everybody.
Alright. Yes, it is. First up is Thakin, who basically, so for the record, the place you are trying to get at is over here.
On the other side of the Horde beast.
Of the beast, and the place where you came from is here. I'm gonna make the place you came from blue, and the place you're trying to get to, not red because that's the color of corn, but green for yay, happy, safe.
This is just fucking Doom. Big red angry demon, blue and green doors.
Not intentional, but yes. Becca just kind of looks to Clovis, and it looks at you, Clovis, and just kind of like gestures over. We need to get past it.
Let's move.
Alrighty. He is going to use a full move, which means he can move 25 squares. 1, 2, 3. Or I guess run. 3.
Holy shit.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. By the way, unless you all can get out of the door, no one is leaving until you all fucking can.
Yep.
So he gets over to there. He is no longer hidden. He's directly in its line of sight of its many eyeballs. Next up, Urzin.
Yes.
Your turn.
Try not to die time?
Yeah, your turn.
Cool. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm on the wrong side.
And no, you can't just go through the giant stacks of boxes.
Can I climb the giant stacks of boxes?
You can try, but that will require a full action to get up there.
Yeah, so you see, I have the helmet.
Cam, what's happening? Why can we not hear you?
Because I had my hand in front of my mouth. Okay, so. My acrobatics is trained. I've got a 70 in agility.
It's a climb skill, Tam.
Plus the. Oh, it's a climb skill? I have climb trained plus the 70 agility plus the plus 10 to climb, which makes it an 80. Can I get on top of the boxes?
Yes. Roll to get on top of the boxes. It's a strength roll, by the way.
Is it?
Climb is strength.
Is it?
Climb, S.
Oh. What's my strength? No. Hold on. 54. Hey, Captain.
Plus 10.
Thank you.
I just give you a quick pat on your back to get you up there.
I succeed. By 1.
You're on top of the stack of boxes. That is your full action.
Yes.
Is that where you would like to end your turn?
Yes.
Okay, Matthias,
Obviously,
you're
he
up.
can't see me if I'm above him.
So the dude just straight up ran. Oh god, I need to turn on the music.
Said to get the fuck out!
Yeah, let's get the fuck out. I have a run of 24. Yeah, let me GTFO. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I can go right there.
Okay. Matthias can leave whenever. That is your full action. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
The Chaos Spawn. It is going to charge.
Oh boy.
Actually, no, it has a range of 2 meters. Can it hit Gradius from here? No. This screeching, gibbering, horrible abomination runs forward at full speed and is going to try and clock Gradius over the head with its massive fucking tentacle. Hand. Thing. I also need to check what these properties do. Give me a second. Because it has multiple properties on this. Okay, it cannot be parried. Because it has the flexible property. The one I need to check mostly is snare. Snare. What's weapon? Blast, balance, flame, flexible, overheat, scatter, snare. Weapons with this quality are designated to entangle enemies and successfully hit the target mistaken usually test or be immobilized. Okay. Cool. It also has a toxic property, but that's not what I'm worried about. It misses!
Oh shit. Oh, thank God it got Emperor.
Gradius, it runs up to you screaming and gibbering and, generally being a scary, cornate menace. And it goes to bonk you over the head with and basically embrace you in its giant clawed tentacles of death. You pull up your chain axe, and you just barely manage to, block the attack as it reels back up, still screaming and gibbering and making all sorts of terrible noises. It's your turn.
Okay, you know what? I am ooh, yeah, I'm gonna go for all-out attacks. Fuck it.
Okay, roll your first all-out attack.
Alright, here we go. 28.
Okay, it is going to try and, is it dodge or is its parry better?
Well, let's see.
Why is its dodge better than its motherfucking parry? Okay.
I mean, it's a giant shambling monster. I'm fairly sure its limbs are a lot more limber than we probably give it credit for.
Yeah, okay, it needs to beat a 65.
What was it? No, it's a 25. So.
Or 28. So yeah, how many degrees of success do you have?
77.
Yeah, you hit, even through its dodge.
Yeah.
Roll your damage. This thing once again does have armor, and I need to check what From the Beyond does. Because it's a chaos spawn. And those are funky. Yay! Funky.
My penetration is 7.
Okay, that actually doesn't have any armor, it just has From the Beyond. As well as... Oh, it has that, okay, okay, yeah, how much damage do you do?
23.
It has unnatural toughness, so that is reduced to that. It screeches as you cut off one of its tendrils. Do you see the little ones on its back? You cut off one of those. Please roll your second attack as a reaction.
Alrighty. I still hit.
Okay. It has no more reactions, so please roll damage.
I do 21 points of damage to it.
You cut off the second tendril from its back. It is still standing, and it looks very angry.
Yay, I pissed it off.
It also looks like it's bleeding a lot of really gross warp sludge.
It's
Yeah.
pissed
I'm
off.
saying it's pretty damaged.
Did I nearly just fucking two-shot the thing?
Actually, mayhaps. Mayhapple, if you will.
Has some happy mechanical noises.
Is that the end of your turn, Gradius?
Yes, I wish I had another turn. I want to take this thing on in a one-on-one.
Clovis, you're up.
I was about to say. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I was going to say something.
Please remember, I'm very eager to know
Fuck
what you
it.
were to say.
I was going to blast the Chaos Spawn twice from concealment.
Okay, you only get one shot from concealment, so your first shot with a plus 30.
Okay, let's do it. 49 out of, let's see, that's a 5. That's a...
Plus 45.
No. Oh yeah, 45. So my ballistic skill's a 52.
Okay, that's gonna be 52, 97, 4 degrees of success. Oh no, 3 degrees of success, 1 extra dice of damage.
2d10 plus 3, and this is toxic and tearing.
Oh, then roll 40-10 to take the 2 highest numbers.
40, 10. 9 and 9.
18 plus 3 is 21.
Plus 3, so that's 21.
Yep, 21. Clovis, how would you like to do this?
And this is toxic and tearing.
Yes, how would you like to do this?
Hello?
Yeah, Diego, hi. Can you hear us?
Hi, Diego.
Oh,
Diego
Uh-oh.
couldn't hear us.
Uh-oh.
Diego. Dost thou live?
I think Diego died.
I think Diego is dead.
He stole my kill. I stared in the face of the darkness and I said, no. Bitch.
Oh. Is he alive?
I hope so.
He's here!
Okay, I had to switch over to my iPad because apparently my computer Discord is fucky.
Diego.
Hmm?
How would you like to do this?
Hand over my inquisitorial rosette, gun aimed at the head of the chaos spawn, and I just say, "Not today."
You fire Gradius as you lop off one of its tendrils, and it reels back screeching. You hear a gun discharge as a single bullet flies straight through its disgusting, weird, lumpy head. Whatever could be considered its brain matter flying and splattering on the wall. It reels up, lets out another terrible screech as Gradius, you smash it over with the blunt of your chain axe. It falls to the ground, writhing for a few more seconds before its body goes still. The Chaos Spawn is dead.
Gradius just kind of like rips his chain axe away from it, and he just does like a very like slow, methodical like turn towards Clovis, and he just gives like a thumbs up.
Clovis emerges from the shadows. Well, when it comes to demons, one can never be too careful, but apparently, if need be, standing and fighting works. How pleasant. Come on, Gradius.
So Gradius nods, and then he just begins to just walking over the corpse.
Clovis also walks over to corpse.
So, Alun, how much health did that thing actually have?
A bit over 40 with a direct... About 40 with a direct -8 to all damage.
Wow. I just fucking
To be fair,
nuked it.
yeah, and I just like fucking double tapped that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect you guys to kill it so fast.
Welcome to my world. Now you know how I feel when I'm trying to run
Good
things.
fucking work! I'm
Rotator.
not complaining! I'm just like, wow, I need to throw some harder shit at you guys. I thought this would be a good boss.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, and you have to think about that too. Is like I'm actually, it was either this or crushing blow. I'm glad I went with this instead of crushing blow.
Yeah.
Alright, well.
Yeah. So if I get that plus crushing blow, that means I get to add additional 2 points of damage to my melee attacks.
You see its corpse slowly begin to, like, basically melt away into, like, bubbling residue. As the spawn just kind of literally melts before your eyes. As you see, like, Thakand and Matthias kind of just staring at you guys.
Hey, Alun.
Yeah.
Is this thing safe to touch?
The, residue?
Yes.
You don't know.
Can your
Probably not.
down and land basically perfectly next to it?
Yeah, you jump down and you land next to the pile of ooze.
Interesting.
I'll be right back. Have fun role-playing, but the dog's screaming.
Okay.
So, Gradius.
That's you.
Not Gradius. So Clovis.
Yes.
Back on the ship. I'm actually more so conversing out of character than in character. With the Gauss rifle, is it okay if I use it to trade for an eviscerator?
I mean, you don't have to trade in a valuable Necron artifact for something like that. My plan was just to find the nearest Death Watch station, dump off all of our cargo, and requisition some gear from the place.
Awesome. If I can get a flaming eviscerator, I will be very happy.
I'm not sure flaming eviscerators exist in Warhammer, but I'm not going to be the guy to ruin your fun with that.
Yeah. A flaming weapon.
I feel it's a bit much, but go for it.
I mean, yeah, it's a +9, so...
Wait, is there which source book is the flaming chainsword from?
I don't remember. I just wanted to see if they exist, because I do know weird fucky chainswords exist in the lore, because Space Marines always pull one out of their asses in certain stories.
Yeah, but that's because they're ancient prototypes that get passed down. It might be in Faith and Coin.
Yeah. If we get that, that means I get an additional +9 to my damage.
Melee weapons. Chain Fist and Eviscerator. There's a Soul Blade, a Flail of Chastisement, and the Intharian Falx.
What are we talking about?
Chat.
Will's
No,
trying to. Will's jonesing for a flaming eviscerator, and I'm curious if that's actually in the source books or if he's just making this up and just wants a cool weapon.
I'm just trying to make a cool weapon.
Because you say flaming eviscerator with such conviction that I'm convinced that it might be in the game, but I don't know. I didn't know if you were making it up or not.
No, I was making it up. Anyways, hello.
Hi.
Is the doggo okay?
So, how would you like to proceed?
Yes.
So, yes. What's the plan now, Captain?
We keep going. How further are we, Thakand?
Not far out now. The place where the security keys and everything are kept shouldn't be far.
Proceed, and we shall follow.
Alright. You all make your way through the halls of the ship, and eventually come to a locked room on the upper decks. There's no blood around this area. No, nothing. It's just quiet. Bakken kind of gestures to the room. The keys for my men's quarters should be in here. I know that this is where Carnicus always... He brought me here once to mock me after I'd provided particularly pleasing entertainment for him. His words, not mine. And he told me, the keys for your that hold your men hostage are in this room. You'll never get a chance to see them. Just another way he tried to torment me. I don't know what's in there. He never showed me.
Oh, we're about to find out. Open it.
He kind of looks to Gradius. Should be your work, Skatari. I'm a fighter, but I'm not familiar with the intricacies of technical locks.
So, appreciation for the respect, but this is a Skatari. My services are limited. I will still give it a
Kick
shot.
it down. If that fails.
So, am I being asked to open up a box, or am I being asked to break the thing down?
The door.
You're being
just
asked
open
to
it up.
open the door.
Okay, cool.
Roll tech use.
Tech use?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just, pry it open?
If you want to roll athletics, sure.
Alrighty. Let's see. There is no athletic skill.
It's based on... Oh, there's fucking Christ. I keep calling it athletics. Roll me strength. Jesus Christ, sorry.
Okay. 23. My strength is 80.
Alrighty, as this is going on, Matthias,
That's me.
there's a call on the Voxcaster.
Oh.
Hey! Seneschal, come in. It's Verdant.
Seneschal coming in.
Are you in a place where you could be spared for just a brief moment?
I am. What has happened?
Could you, come pick up those suits I talked about?
Sure.
Thank you.
Of course.
Get clearance from Clovis first, of course.
Understood. Matthews will turn to Clovis. Lord Captain, I've been asked to go gather the void suits from the ship.
Has the ship been depressurized?
I ask over the box. Has the ship been depressurized?
Portion of the lower decks, yes. I think that the boarding party likely took out an oxygenator of some sort.
I see. I relay that information to Clovis.
Excellent. And yes, bring the suits.
Understood. Matthews will, he'll run off. Decide to go get it quick.
Gradius. As this is happening, you've been prying open the door. You rip it open, and inside is a face that's all too familiar, yet at the same time completely foreign. Sitting inside in almost luxurious accommodations is Ronald Bitchboy Guts.
Oh god.
Here's going to look like he's about to run forward and then stop.
No, there he is in art.
So, in a way, as Gradius is basically like prying this open, and he's gonna go, "Bitch boy."
You see Ron, who you would think would look scary if not for like how he's dressed, if not for his look of utter surprise on his face and his cigarette partially out of his mouth, and he goes, "Gradius? Also, don't call me bit." Oh.
Clovis steps forward.
Lord Captain.
Gradius approaches.
Following you around, I didn't expect to see you.
Well. Clovis draws his pistol. Prisoner or accomplice?
Well, what do you think?
Traitor.
You're the one who left me off the ship. You're the one who cast me aside. I had nowhere else to turn to. And you expect me to just sit around on footfall forever? I'm a man who follows orders.
That sounds more like a confession than anything else.
You see Thacken slowly take the flamer off of his belt and point it towards Matthias.
Matthews.
Ron. I've never seen you around.
I'm new. He says as he finishes the final drag of his glow stick, and you see him flick it off, onto the ground and stomp it out with his metal boot.
Never been to the lower decks, as far as I know. At least not to the prison quarters. Means he was kept sheltered from most of the atrocities. Cornicus likes his upper decks clean.
Not
Except
clean
for his
enough.
One of you two go first.
Go, Sked.
I was just gonna say, not clean enough.
That much is apparent. Clovis looks around in the room. Are the keys anywhere in sight?
No. However, there's a locked box sitting on the sitting on what would be Ron's dresser. Ron, you would know you've never that Karnak has basically stuck that there when you first arrived, and basically told you not to open it. Ever. And that if you did, he would execute you.
Oh.
Clovis's organic eye looks towards the locked box. And he raises his gun towards Ron. Hand over the box.
Ron stands from his seat and kind of he steps a bit out from it, and you can see the metal legs that you gave him and replaced his old ones with. Do you know what's in it?
The keys to this man's freedom, and that of his associates. He gestures towards Thakand. Not everyone was graced with a very nice quarter in this vessel.
You know, the guns are a little bit too much. A deal. I think we can make a deal, Lord Captain.
Question, Skid.
Yeah?
What languages does he speak?
What languages does Ron speak? I actually pulled up a sheet just for this.
Yeah, I told Skid this was happening beforehand.
He speaks Low Gothic and Trader's Cant, and that's it.
Okay. Never mind. Don't mind me.
A deal, Lord Captain.
Clovis doesn't make any change in gestures or says anything.
You take the box, and I come with you. You get what you want, I get what I want.
And what is it that you want?
Off of this hellhole.
Can I say what I want, sir?
You're at liberty to do so.
He was much nicer to me than Matthias ever has been. And he knows the ship almost as well as I do. You gave me a second chance. Why not him?
Clovis looks around to the inside of the room, which is very deep inside a Cornate vessel.
There's a lot of empty low packages. Like, a lot of them.
And basically nothing else. And the other thing to note is this is potentially the one place you've seen completely free of Cornate iconography.
I have room in my shuttle for one more.
Mission.
And the box is yours.
Approach?
No,
Okay.
I want you to give it to me. He is not lowering his gun.
Sure. Ron will walk towards the box, pick it up, and go over to hand it to Clovis. And you didn't work with Ron for that long, but Urza, you know Ron and his gestures. He is uncharacteristically calm.
Huh?
Maybe
Wait
it's
a
because
second.
of the low he just smoked. It's mostly the low he just smoked. He was always deathly calm.
Uh-huh.
But he's... You would assume that he wouldn't be calm in this kind of situation.
Wait.
Maybe he... Yeah? Uh-huh.
No, you keep talking. I'm just thinking.
Okay. Yeah, Ron holds out the box to Clovis.
Clovis grabs the box and hands it over to Thakand. If you would.
You see him kind of nod And as he opens it, inside is a single, extremely... How do I put this? A key that radiates horrendous vibes. Like it itself has been touched by the warp. As he opens it, he kind of like noticeably flinches. And he just grimaces. I don't think my men are the same, Lord Captain.
Then you have a choice, Sergeant Melaski. We can put them out of their misery, or leave them to their fates.
He kind of looks back to you. You're planning to destroy the ship, right?
Ideally.
Or at least depressurize most of it?
I've come here on board this vessel for two purposes. Recover the artifact, and verify your safe return.
He kind of basically closes the box once again and just kind of like holds it, keeps it at about an arm's distance from itself rather awkwardly. May they go down with the ship. I don't want to open another can of worms.
Then we depart for my shuttles.
Yes, sir.
The artifact is sturdy enough to survive a fall into the atmosphere. It will survive what the ship cannot.
It should be in Cornicus's quarters.
Excellent. We'll salvage it from the wreckage once we've scuttled it. He turns to the others. Prepare to move out and head towards the shuttles. It's about time we give Cornicus a parting gift. He then looks back to Ron. Well?
Well.
Let's move then. So yeah, Clovis is going to leave the room.
Yours definitely gotten a lot more confident around Ron. He's still going to put himself, or not Ron. What am I saying? Matthias. But
Matthias
he's
isn't
still
here.
gonna put. What?
Matthias isn't here. He went to go get void suits from Verdun.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because
Or
the
else
ship was starting to
Mathis
depressurize.
would have said something by now.
Yeah! He purposely
Matthias-
removed him!
Yeah, Matthias and Ron would fucking hate each other. Like, realistically.
Well, yours is still gonna like walk next to Ron. Good to
As
see you again.
Ron kind of goes, yeah, it's been a while. Your laces are still untied.
Still on with that joke, huh?
You never tie them.
Gods. Can't wait for you to meet our new son.
Gods. Oops.
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 That's heretical.
And something the town never say.
Was Tam.
God Emperor.
That was Tam speaking.
Fair enough.
Emperor, I guess, yeah.
God Emperor. New Seneschal?
Old Seneschal. Trust me. Trust me, I have something funny thought up of.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay.
He saw me as prey.
Oh. That. Well, sorry about that.
Nothing you've done about it.
Wish there was.
Beckon just kind of looks at the box, angrily throws it back in the room, and just lets out a long sigh as he basically, just shakes his head. Finally lost 5 good men today. He kind of looks to you, Clovis and the rest of the retinue. I'll happily stay with you all and aid you all on your quest to take not only Carnicus, but whatever Xenos are in this system down. It's the least I can do in return.
You're more than welcome to join the retinue, Sergeant Maleski.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to serve. He gives you a salute.
Now, I believe this room needs to be burned, and the contents within as well. See to it.
With pleasure. You see him kind of basically take the flamer, and over the next couple of seconds, basically empty an entire canister into it, setting the entire place ablaze.
Yeah, Ron doesn't care. He has no attachment to this room.
Gonna lead everyone back to the shuttle so that we can push this bitch into the planet's gravity well.
Alright. You all basically meet Matthias, who has the void suits. Put on the void suits, including, he brought a couple extras just in case, because Verdant was filled in on the situation with, what's-his-face? Back in being there, and also because he expected you guys to return with some extra jungle fighters. There's a couple of extras, but
instead there's a freakishly tall freak here, and Matthews is immediately suspicious of him.
Yeah, you'll get back in the shuttle. The rest of your boarding party that wasn't wiped out is departing back for the ship.
Do I need to roll another thing, or am I good?
No, there's no more guns firing. Most of the crew that remained has
Cool.
been wiped out.
You got it.
You all make your way back to the ship. And the second you get back on board, in the shuttle bay, there stands Savuli. She just kind of stands there as you did. Who disembarks first is what I ask.
Irizen's probably lost because he's piloting.
Piloting,
He needs to
yeah.
shut it down.
Ron is also one of the last ones, probably because he's afraid to see Savuli, most likely.
Clovis is one of the first, and he's just smiling smugly to himself.
I feel like Matthews is right behind him, as is Seneschal, for now. I think.
Okay. As you all disembark, Savuli's gaze is basically unfocused, and then Ron comes out. And her eyes narrow.
He's usually hunched over, and he's a little hunched over, but he's doing the little nervous shake he has when he hasn't smoked in a hot minute, and he takes his hat off of his head and starts wringing it with his hands.
I thought the Lord Captain banished you to the dunes.
He did banish me. Made some rash decisions. I don't even think they were decisions. They were kind of made for me, I suppose. As they usually are.
Misguided knights who served corrupt princes still served.
I know.
She looks to Clovis. There's something on the planet's surface. Something dangerous. Something terrible.
And we shall deal with it in good time. But first, we must get off this tomb.
She nods. Yes. However, she looks to Ron. Are you sure about him, Lord Captain?
Yes. I'd rather deny the cultists an additional asset rather than let him be.
Fair enough.
You can tell that Clovis has something in mind.
All right. She just
Ma-
kind of gives him a nod and walks back into the shuttle. And Verdant kind of like blinks a few times. We brought her over because apparently she was screaming bloody murder in the astropathic choir. No one knew why.
That may have been the chaos abomination that we disposed of on the way here.
Could be.
Either way,
Verdant kind of looks to Clovis. What's this about a prince? Multiple people, and apparently a lot of the cultists have been babbling about it the whole time.
if I were to hazard a guess, the coronate cult aboard this vessel is worshipping a higher power, one aligned inexorably with the archenemy. The prince is likely a moniker, a nom de guerre for a rather insidious specimen.
Would Ron know at all?
Do you have Forbidden Lore Heresy or Forbidden Lore Daemonology?
Ron definitely does not.
Okay, well, I'll let you roll intelligence, because you have been around the vessel a lot.
Okay. He has no fucking clue.
What I will tell you is Ron has noticed Carnicus has been changing. Not just mentally he's more likely to strangle a guard, or whip one of his own into, a bloody pile of flesh whenever he gets mildly bored or even slightly agitated. But physically, too. Ron's noticed he's gotten a bit taller, had a little bit more of an air to him, instills dread seemingly in anyone he comes near. Some blotches of red started appearing on his skin, but it was probably just more corn shit.
Ron isn't he is a smart fucking cookie, but he's still gonna suggest it anyway. They could be talking about Carnicus. He's been changing, to say the least. Physically, mentally, changing.
Wonderful. If only because it means that cleanup will be much easier. One less target, one less body bag to pay for. Now then, I believe we've spent enough time aboard this vessel. Let us depart and send it back to the surface of the planet.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. You all get in the shuttles, and you fly back to your own vessel. Not the corn one.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get off the ship, the slight headache and all of your pounding beneath all of your eyes goes away.
Clovis leans back in his chair and smiles. Disable the engines first. Then, a nice little nudge. And we'll send the ship howling into the gravity well of the planet. The atmosphere will do most of the work for us, after which it's just a matter of going back down there and sorting through the wreckage. Carnicus will be trapped, and we'll have removed a rather considerable threat to the Imperium.
The others,
Yes,
Verdant, Catula, Batank, Backend, all the people who come with you seem to be enthusiastically agreeing, except for Zavuli, who just shudders slightly. Be careful of making the sky fall, Lord Captain. Be careful.
Clovis thinks to himself now.
It may cause a lot of good and a lot of harm to the ones you want harmed, but she kind of looks towards the vessel, looks back down towards where, like, you know, out of the windows of down towards the planet. The more we kill, the more it feeds. The stronger it gets. The hungrier it gets. I can almost
Gradius.
hear it.
Gradius,
Yes?
have we had our saboteurs do their work on the plasma drive of the ship?
Gradius, he basically holds up, Salt, he basically holds up a detonator. Been ready on your order.
Kill it. But leave it in orbit.
He holds up a second detonator. There was the kill all detonator, and then there was the cripple detonator. He uses the cripple one. Ding! Click.
You see a massive hunk of explosions as basically the plasma drives and engines of the ship blow out to the point they end up getting detached and slowly begin floating away. The ship stays hovering, but you see it's no longer holding its position and begins orbiting almost like a moon around the planet.
And with that, they're not going anywhere. Excellent. Now then, I understand that there is some confusion about the presence of Ron Guts here.
Yes, Lord Captain.
Not.
I am. This is the previous Seneschal. Am I correct?
Yes.
What was he doing aboard the enemy ship?
Irrelevant. His confession to me has verified that he is guilty of heresy by association, which in itself is an act of heresy.
You basically give a very enthusiastic nod. Conspiring with chaos, no matter the purpose, is a death sentence. Do I give him the trial by fire, sir? Or do you have other plans?
Master Guts. And this is the only time he's ever referred to as Master Guts.
You also called him Ron Guts too, which is already an upgrade from how he used to call him as well. 2 upgrades in like the same 2 sentences. Ron he jolts up a little bit and he goes, "Yes, Lord Captain."
You are not going to serve on my vessel. No.
Right.
I believe that the God Emperor has use for you. Stained as your soul may be by corruption. But I believe in second chances. Which is why your redemption will be dealt with by more learned professionals. Master Vandergrim,
Yes, Lord Captain.
prepare transfer documents.
Understood.
Ronald Bitchboy Guts will serve in the penal legions of the Imperial Guard.
Understood.
He shall find his redemption on the battlefield in perpetuity.
Understood. I'll prepare that right away.
Good. Once we've reached the nearest Imperial dock, he will be transferred over, and his long, long crusade for self-redemption can begin. Far away from my ship. You will have to earn your second chance, Ronald Bitchboy Guts. Either at the hands of the enemy's blade, or the whip of your future commanding officer in the Legions Penitent.
I will do my best.
I'm sure you will.
I like how much like the music is very tense, and then the fucking ending music chime
the
it
ending
always kind
music
of comes
chime.
off like it's like fucking RPG
Yeah.
effects, like
Okay,
transition scenes.
alright. It annoys
It's
me
nice.
too.
No, I find it hilarious because it basically completely undercuts as if we're playing a fucking JRPG.
God.
Gradius is
You
going to be escorting Ron to a holding cell. And then Gradius is just going to just in like the clinking metal of his armor, he's going to effectively like open up a cell, and then he is basically like expecting Ron to step in.
Ron, he starts to walk in, but he stops at the entrance, and he's much taller than Gradius because he's a freak. But he turns to Gradius and he goes, "You know, I think you're supposed to be taking these." And he you see him reach his hands down, and what drops from his cape are two pistols, a hell pistol and what's the other one? I already forgot what his other one is. Scrolling down. He has an auto pistol and a hell pistol, and you see them both drop from his cape, and he holds them out to you. I think you're supposed to be taking these before you put me in a cell.
Gradius,
And that too. He gestures to his hell gun, also on his back.
yes. And then Gradius begins to he holds his hand out for the weapons.
And Ron will place them in his hands. Be careful with the hell pistol and the hell gun.
Yeah. And then Gradius, you hear like a slight decompression of the helmet, and then from there Gradius goes, "Were you on the warpath?"
The warpath?
Yes. Against Clovis.
It wasn't meant to be a warpath.
Then what was it?
Escaping. Escaping from Footfall. I don't know. I thought Garnicus' ship would be a new, fresh start. It wasn't that. I never get a fresh start. Nothing about me's fresh at all. Never has been. I don't think it ever will.
Gradius nods to that response. And then he goes, "Like most, you are lost within the void. It's going to be a long, long climb.
Already been long.
You'll do better this time, though, right?"
That's the plan. I can only hope to get better from here.
Gradius puts his helmet back on. And then one of his Skitari lieutenants just closes it and just stands outside your cell. As Gradius is walking away, he taps the side of his head, and he stops the recording. I wonder how the captain will feel about his redemption now.
As this is all going on, Gradius, as you're walking back up to the bridge, you pass a very... How do I put it other than strangely lucid Savuli? Walking almost with purpose back the way you came.
Gradius is like, does she bump into me again?
She doesn't bump... Yeah, she basically bumps into your arm and seemingly doesn't even, like, note it. Normally she'd apologize profusely, but she just silently gives you, like, nods in what she thinks is your general direction before continuing her, what looks like a crusade towards where the holding cells are.
Oh. Question, Loon. Am I able to be a passenger in other Skitari vessels?
You have Mido.
That's mine.
Or not Mido,
Murphy.
Murphy. You have Murphy.
They're both M's. It's okay.
Savuli can't sense Murphy.
Alrighty, I will send Murphy to spy as I walk away.
Ron, as you're just kind of sitting there, you hear very heavy footsteps. As you hear, like... As you basically see Savuli march in front of your cell and stare at you.
Savuli.
Why would you help him?
What?
Why would you help him?
Carnicus?
Carnicus. Is that his name?
Yeah.
You see her kind of gesture, like basically point to her mask, and basically narrow her eye. Well, you could see her basically point to her mask, take it off, and narrow her eyes. It was basically the metal around your, like, basically the metal of the holding cell begins to almost, like, warp slightly as she, like, she may be 5'2", but in essence, she is towering over Ron. Do you know what I saw the other night? Do you know why they took me away from the ship?
Why?
She kind of taps the mask. He gave Abril the schematics for this. He stole me for Abril. He stole my siblings. He killed my mother.
Savuli, I wouldn't have gone to him if I knew that. I would have stayed on Fallen Rotted if I knew.
She kind of looks back towards where Clovis is, and you can see, like, basically wherever her gaze goes, the metal begins kind of warping, and you see basically one of the Skitari basically not melt, but, like, make a bunch of air noises the second she looks at him as she basically turns her gaze towards, like, the door. And you know what's worse?
What?
The Inquisitor killed my father to one-up him, to win this war. She kind of basically, like, looks out the door and just kind of lets out a long sigh. Those keys. That key. The one Clovis has with him. The one he got from that planet. The second I was near it, the second it came close to me, I didn't even have to touch it. But years became clear. She kind of turns back to you. And I'm terrified. She kind of puts the mask back on and just lets out and just basically like puts her hands over where her eyes are now covered. I'm not human, am I? I never was. My family was killed by them. And I've served the ones who did, who killed them. And yet, all the strands and all the sands say it's the only option.
Ron, he stands up and he walks towards the bars of the cell, and he kind of like puts a hand out of him he offers a hand to Sevuli to hold, to do something with. He can't hug her. He would if he could.
She
I'm
kind of
sorry.
grabs it. I know. I was blind. I mean, I am blind, but when I did what I did to you, I thought it was the best thing. To save you from more death and destruction. But all I've ever done is hurt everyone. You, apparently my parents, my siblings, everyone.
It ain't your fault. It isn't your fault.
She kind of like
You followed
squeezes
orders.
your hand tighter. It may not be, but he's gonna banish you again, isn't he? All because of what I did at first.
I'll win my second chance back. I'll try. My damnedest.
Skid. This is
Mhm.
me speaking out of character, but you have less than a 1 in 100 chance of surviving your first engagement in a penal legion.
Ron doesn't
Yeah.
know that. Ron has no idea. Don't tell him. He
No,
does not know.
it's almost certainly a death sentence.
Yeah, Ron doesn't know that.
That's what Clovis meant when he said you'll find your redemption the hard way.
Yeah, Ron doesn't know that, guys. Ron's not that smart when it comes to the
No.
Imperium. He does not know about the Imperium at all. He was born and raised on football.
Well, you're about to find out.
He's about to find out. But either way, because he doesn't know, he's gonna try and promise Sevuli that he will live and come back.
Sevuli kind of looks to him and just kind of lets out a long sigh. I can tell you one thing, though. You know your old legs.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Weird
kill the
ones.
guy who did it to you. That's Clovis's mission. At its core. The Necron we're going to kill is the one who did that to you.
I wish I was the one who could deliver that final blow.
At the very least, he'll be dead, right?
At the
And
very
hopefully
least.
you won't be. She kind of looks and like kind of just like shuffles around a bit. It wasn't him per se, but he was the one pulling the strings. That material. It's all he can make without a cryptech. That cryptech that he had was supposed to be me. But when he was exiled, and when Cornicus came and disrupted the system in the first place, under Abral's orders, for that Necron, I was abducted. I was stolen from my home by him. And I was none the wiser. I was told I was an astropath. But I'm not. And I'm worried Clovis may execute me. He'd be well within his rights. After all, I'm not supposed to exist. I was supposed to be held in stasis until they could get me a new body. But I was taken. In some ways, Ron. She kind of taps her Ron's new legs through the bars. What happened to you and me isn't all that different. If only reversed.
If only reversed.
He gave
Well-
you a new body you didn't want, and I never got mine.
Well, I hope our outcomes at the end of this are the same. You'll live, and I'll live. Right?
She kind of grabs the bars, and she kind of bites her lip slightly. Maybe. Maybe not. It's all silent. All of it.
You know, if there's just one thing I learned on Cornicus' ship, is that when you don't have love, the best thing to do is just stay positive about something. Even if that something's just staying alive. So I need to live. From now.
Looks at you, Ron, and just kind of taps the mask. If I was to do something really stupid, what would you say?
Depends on how stupid. Because you're not the type to do stupid things, Savuli.
No.
I'd be surprised if you did something stupid. Usually I'm the one doing something stupid.
She kind of looks and turns to the Skitari next to them, and just kind of lets out a sigh.
Question.
Yes, Tam?
Is there a security camera watching this?
Likely.
Could Urizen by chance be watching the security cameras and turn that one off?
Sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not like you have someone over your shoulder standing right there.
Yeah,
Clovis is in his war room planning out how to take the fight to Carnicus on the planet surface.
I would say Matthias probably is, but he's probably in his office seething. So.
No,
Yeah.
Clovis would have Matthias at the war council.
Okay.
Yeah. Savili kind of looks to the Skitari and just kind of does. You see her kind of sweep the room for life signs. I can get you off this ship.
There's a Skitari right there.
She takes off her mask, looks at him, and immediately his body locks up in metal. She then puts the mask back on before turning to Ron. I can get you off this ship.
You don't have to do that. As much as I want you to.
Does Savuli by chance understand it if I spoke Tau?
Call it high or low.
Let's say low. I don't know. I don't know this woman.
Yes.
Person? She would understand if I spoke Tao. Cool. Probably the only person here who does. Severely, where are you planning on going?
She kind of like looks as if trying to like find the source of the voice
I'm
before
not
basically.
here. This is being sent to just you, just this room.
Oh, she kind of looks. Well, I need enough material to create a shuttle, so, or at least a craft to get us off this place. So in theory, she kind of like, looks to, like thinks. Likely the shuttle bay. There should be enough extra material I can make into something that can get us back to Frostivia. Somewhere else in the system.
Funny enough, we actually have a shuttle that was deemed unusable. If I remember our logs correctly.
She kind of looks to Ron.
Severely, are you sure about this?
You do understand what goes on in the penal legions, right?
No.
It's a suicide mission.
Ah.
And think about it this way. Clovis gets rid of 2 problems in 1.
Does he think you're a problem?
She looks basically, if her mask was off, she'd be looking Ron dead in the eyes. I'm a Necron,
Well,
Ron.
Well, yeah, but
I'm a problem by nature, by design. I'm an enemy of humanity, masquerading as human. I don't want to hurt you all. I've never meant to hurt you all. If I'd known what I was doing, ever, I wouldn't have hurt any of you. But Clovis has 1 Xenos aboard this ship, that's at least already, and Arzen's easier to explain than something like me. And it's only a matter of time before he figured out what I was.
maybe he'd keep you alive because of your usefulness. Really, you don't have to do this.
She kind of looks to the Scutari she just made into metal and just kind of taps it. You think anyone's gonna let me stay when I can do things like this? I'm not safe, Ron. I'm not. That's why Abril wanted to chain me.
A lot of people aren't safe when they're given the right tools. Yours are just your hands, I guess.
She kind of looks to Matthias. Or not fucking Matthias, Ron. I'll talk with Clovis, I guess. I don't want to break his rules. I don't want to betray him. I just want to live my life. But I'm not sure that's feasible. I don't blame him for what he did either. Even I didn't know what was being done on the surface of that planet. I don't hold it against you all. Not really. I would have liked to meet him. I hold it against Carnicus, really. And Abril. But Carnicus is as good as dead, and Abril is dead. After that, what purpose do I serve? She kind of, lets out another long sigh as she basically, turns takes her hand away from Ron and just kind of like... There's like a seething aura coming off of her. What happens when I'm not useful anymore?
Well,
I'd like to interrupt and point out that Diego, the character, absolutely would not mind having Celuvi on the ship. Civility
Yeah.
on the ship.
know
Clovis,
that.
however, because I am role-playing him as he is, well, it's a coin flip.
Minds.
Yeah, that's exactly why she's so concerned. Because she's already seen the stuff he's done in the past.
Ron, who
He has a very firm moral compass, but it drives his actions so it looks like more of a roulette wheel than anything.
Yeah.
Ron has Psynetians, so as soon as he starts sensing Sivuli's aura, he's kind of just like, you're kind of doing the thing again, the menacing thing.
I know.
Where it's coming off at you like waves again.
I know. I'll talk with Clovis. I'll talk with him. I will.
Don't do anything rash.
I won't. She kind of looks to him, to Ron, and just kind of grimly sets her mouth. He has the mask, after all. I couldn't if I wanted to.
If something happens before I'm able to see you next, do you see as Ron takes off his visor and pulls it down off of his face, showing his eyes for the first time, actual eyes to Sevili for the first time, which are metal. They shudder they're like a camera shutter instead of a blink. Take care.
Same to you. Suicide mission or not. Don't die.
I've done a lot of suicide missions. Haven't died yet. They say that about every mission I was on. On Footfall.
And you worked for April.
And I worked for Abril. And I also was on Carnicus' ship for long enough.
Ugh.
You know, suicide missions pay the best. So, they don't pay well, but they pay the best.
Fair enough. She kind of like walks out and goes to the bridge where, and just kind of gives Ron a wave. See you.
See you too. Good luck.
Mm-hmm. She kind of walks to the bridge, and as she does so, as she walks in, she kind of looks to Gradius. Well, actually, no, she doesn't know Gradius is there. The first thing she does is look to Urzin. We need to talk to Clovis.
Yes, we do. This is still in Tau, by the way. But if you two need to leave, I can label shuttle. How many shuttles are there?
That you
Quite a
guys have
few.
2 functional shuttles that are mainly used. You have 2 Argus gliders, which are the only ones that are meant to transport, like, stuff planetside. And then one that we will say is indeed non-functional, because it makes sense if there is one being repaired.
Yeah. We have one that got some damage. I can, at one point, just label it totaled and sent and worthy only for scrap. And if you give me enough warning, I can do a system reset test on the cameras that day.
Thank you. She kind of looks around. Where's the Skitarii?
Sorry?
This guitar
The
that has
Skitarii.
Ron's guns.
Remind me what that is, Tam.
Gradius. She's talking about Gradius, because she can't see him.
Oh!
She's blind to him. She can't see Gradius. That's part of her problem.
So, as all this is currently going on, as they're talking amongst themselves, Gradius is currently standing in one of the surveillance rooms, with Murphy.
Zen is going to turn on the ship sound system-y thing for the general area.
Chip
The
sound
intercom.
system-y thing. The intercom, yeah,
I
the
don't know
intercom.
what it's called. Gradius to the bridge, please. Your presence is requested.
Gradius is as he hears it, he turns towards the Explorator. What was the name of her again? Sorry, it's been so
V
long.
Centaurus.
V Centaurus. He basically relays everything that's been happening to her.
She just kind of looks to you, Gradius. Unit Civili is dangerous, isn't she?
She is.
Especially to us.
Mm-hmm. However, you think she might become a good bargaining chip against potential heretical factions within the Mechanicus?
Absolutely. You see her kind of like gesture on like the screen to the fucking metallicized Skitari.
Mm-hmm.
If she can do that to anything with augments, she is potentially one of the best assets the Imperium has seen against heretics for ages. Granted, she can control it, which I have my doubts about.
But if we keep her around, they'll probably give me a better fighting chance, despite me being AI.
V kind of like gives a nod as she kind of realizes. Ah. Yes. It would. I always
Alright.
she kind of like thinks for a second. No wonder she can't see you.
Ah, I get it now. I don't have a soul. Ugh.
Not in the traditional sense.
He's not a
But you're
sign, by the
certainly
way.
not soulless.
Just imagine like a robotic sigh, like they're actually speaking a lot more candidly within techno lingo to each other.
Yeah, you see her kind of like she basically like one of her mecha dendrites basically bumps yours and like a friendly mechanicus gesture.
Mm-hmm.
You may not have a soul, but you're far from soulless. Go talk with the Lord Captain.
But Tam, can you do an intercom thing again?
Gradius, your presence is requested on the bridge.
Fine. Let's go see what the meat bags want.
Have fun.
Notice
Make sure
he didn't
not to
call
turn
him
your humor
sir.
protocols on for a serious conversation.
So really, because I thought yours would have been turned off by now.
She kind of basically like gives a shrug. Sometimes you need to lighten the mood. But I doubt Clovis would appreciate it.
And then from there, Murphy just does like a very like happy little nod as it just hovers behind Gradius.
Mm.
All right, I return to the bridge.
Leads on the bridge. Savuli kind of looks to Gradius and Urzin. I assume you know everything.
Huh? Out of character, huh?
Savuli talking about what she said. That she's a Necron. One of her
Yes.
parents was the Necron killed by Carnicus, and the other one was the one you guys just killed, like last session.
Can't
So,
speak for him, but cameras have audio.
Gradius is gonna go. I've had my suspicions. Yes.
She kind of sighs. I don't want Ron to die. He's not a heretic. He's just an idiot.
I know. I talked to him.
Yes, he helped Carnicus. I'm not forgiving that. But the penal legions, really?
The overall mortality rate is high for a reason. Clovis is currently testing him to see if he can actually be able to have what it takes to be able to rejoin the crew. If he lives, he lives.
She kind of basically wrinkles her brow. You can see under the parts of the mask as she just kind of taps her translucent legs almost nervously. We should talk with him about me, then. If there's anyone who can survive ridiculous situations, it's the bitch boy.
There's a reason why I put one of my lieutenants outside of his cell.
About that,
Oof.
That
What?
severely froze the person in metal who was guarding him.
Mm-hmm.
Ron sneezes in his cell.
Mm-hmm. Arrangements can be made to make these missions much more feasible.
Perhaps.
So,
She kind of looks. There's still the matter with me, of course.
yes, there is. And everything that we've just discussed, everything that's been discussed so far is currently on a backup drive. I have associates within the Mechanicus that will ensure the information will go directly to the Lord Captain should I ever be deactivated.
Yes. However, she kind of looks down towards the planet. I wanted out of the bag to him personally. If he chooses to kill me, he chooses to kill me. But I'd rather know sooner rather than later.
You really want to bring all this to Lord Captain now?
Is there a better time than when we're about to face a Prince of Chaos?
That is also true. However, there have been efforts made of treason of all of us here. It just depends on the level of variation. I can walk away from this unscathed. So, propose your usefulness to Clovis. He is former Inquisition. He would definitely know your value. Emphasize that, and stay in line. We can probably make everything work out.
She kind of looked at Gradius. She basically turns to where she is now pinpointed where you are, Gradius, and just kind of basically gives a nod. If he damns me, he damns me. Though it may not be in his best interest.
Is this a bad time to mention, Alun, that Gradius is actually preparing to wage a small Skitarii uprising to secure as an asset off the ship?
Yeah, no. Remember, this is a fact that I believe should be brought up, though I would not have her recognize the ship. The ship's made of metal.
Uh-huh.
She basically looks to Urizen and Gradius. Would you like to come with me? Or would you like to stay here?
if you left.
To talk to Clovis.
Oh,
Let's go.
This is going to be the last thing we do today, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank goodness.
Guys, don't forget Matthews is also with Clovis.
Yes, I know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Clovis, you're kind of discussing with your war council. Matthews is there, basically going over plans of attack, potential enemies you could be facing, when there's a knock on the door.
Enter.
Savili, Urizen, Gradius. Savili, who basically, I will say this to you as well, looks way more lucid than you've ever seen her. Especially as she walks towards you. I believe there's an asset you're missing in your calculations.
Do tell.
She kind of gestures vaguely at her person. Savili. Cryptek in training of the Necrons. I think
Yes.
it's about time we all knew.
Yes, what of it? Clovis is just moving a little piece on the board as he's just, like, examining the planet's topography.
Uh,
Matthias's reaction.
Matthews hasn't been on this ship for that long. Realistically, he could have put the pieces together, but now that Clovis knows, he kind of prepares to he puts his hand on his gun. But seeing Clovis not bothered means Matthias is just guarded. His hand is still on his gun.
What role do you think you can play in my calculations?
She kind of looks, basically gestures to Matthias. He's seen the metal guards, or should I say previous guards, in the bowels of the ship. I'm not of the Imperium of Man, and I know that now, but I still wish to serve you all. If you want my help against not only the Necron in this system, but also potentially against Carnicus, any heretics, or anything else we face, I'll gladly give it to you. Especially now that I'm aware of exactly what role Carnicus played in me ending up here.
Clovis barely looks up from his map. Your offer for services is noted and appreciated. Master Vandergrim.
Yes, sir, Captain.
Prepare documentation for sanctioned Xenos.
You see her look at you for a second, and she just kind of like blinks a few times. Just like that.
I'm an informer interrogator of the Inquisition of the Order of Xenos and current holder of the warrant of trade of this vessel. I am the captain and my word is law. Are you questioning my decision?
No, sir.
Good. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
She kind of looks to Urzin and then looks to Gradius. I believe that is all.
Gradius shrugs.
She kind of, just kind of says very, very quietly, so that Urzin and Gradius can hear, but that Clovis probably couldn't unless he was really, really listening. I suppose, Gradius, you did have a point.
So, and then from there, if Gradius could wink, there would be like a little blink of technolingua from his eye, or from like the slit of his eye visor.
She kind of just gives a nod. I will await further orders then.
Excellent. The rest of you, get some rest. We'll have to move quickly to deny Carnicus the Steel any chance of regrouping after we disable the Iron Fang.
Oh, and Lord Captain.
Yes?
I basically put a data slate on your table. So watch this as you drink your morning coffee, or your morning recap.
He looks at the tablet and just puts it aside. Later. I have current later. Captain Verdon, how many armored vehicles do we have any armored vehicles in our possession that's capable of surviving the toxicity of the atmosphere? We have Rhino. Our Rhino APCs, we may need to have some workups if not.
Yes. We currently have, he basically pulls out a manifest. The 2 Orbis ladders would be fine in the atmosphere. They've been made to withstand the vacuum of space. We could use them as low-flying craft given the extremely flat topography of the planet. In addition, he kind of pulls up the schematic for the Rhino. As long as we got approval, I think that maybe in a Terran cycle, we could probably fix up the plates on the Rhino here, here, and here to make sure that we could keep it sealed and, well, feasibly survivable on the planet below. It'll need some reinforcement, but it's nothing that we couldn't get done.
Excellent. V-Centaurus can oversee your plans and verify them. Once you have the required approval, we can begin modifications so that we can begin our full frontal assault on the planet. Do we have any idea of how many people are on the planet's surface besides Carnicus's forces? Civilians, innocents, anything that might be considered expendable?
You see, what's his face? Loco just shake his head. It's been dead for years, sir. As far as we know, there's no signs of significant life. At least not that we can pick up from orbit.
Well,
There
we
is-
must. Yes.
There is one thing to note. He kind of like basically pulls out, he basically, I don't know how to describe it other than he basically pulls out a data slate. As of about, at this point, 9 to 13 hours ago, the astropathic choir all started screaming bloody murder. And then stopped. Though they did all start spouting, all of them who had powers of foresight, did start spouting cryptic things about a prince.
Yes. Yes. If it wasn't the Chaos Spawn we slaughtered aboard the Iron Fang, then there's another warp entity on the planet below. Either Conicus himself, or something adjacent to him. Either way, we will need everyone aboard this vessel to pitch in.
Yes, sir.
We must take Conicus and take him now. Once that is done, we deal with the Necron sealed at the heart of the system.
Yes, sir.
And another thing. He pulls aside Loka.
Yes.
I need you to prepare a message for me.
Anything, sir.
It needs to go out of system and outside of traditional channels.
Who are you contacting, sir?
Believe it or not, I still have friends within the Inquisition. War colleagues, most likely. I will need material support for when I return to the Imperium at large. Once I've cleaned up the system, of course. There will be a reckoning, and I need reliable men at my disposal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Keep Captain Verdun and V Centaurus looped in.
I can do that. And I will make sure nothing gets out.
Total communications blackout.
Yes.
And when the time is right, I have a message to send to my superiors in the Coronis Conclave.
And that
He
would
looked-
be...
He looks towards the battle map and just smiles to himself. That they will be ready to elevate me to a more fitting rank within the organization.
He comes
Lo-
to the battle map as well.
Lord Inquisitor Llewellyn Smythe has a nice ring to it.
He kind of nods.
I'm glad-
If it wouldn't be heresy to carry any body parts, I'd say take the head as a trophy.
Proof of kill is always nice, but even the severed head of a coordinate cultist can prove a very tempting
Dangerous
chaos
artifact.
artifact.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, precisely.
Too dangerous to be kept aboard a vessel. As much as a trophy of war from something this large would be nice. He kind of shrugs, though perhaps you'll get something from the Necron.
I appreciate your discretion and your enthusiasm.
You've been nothing but good to us, sir. Much better than Abril ever was.
Yes, I suppose I am. And Clovis is just going to keep looking over the map. Sinister.
Sinisterly. And with that, we will end our session for today.
Okay.
I find it so funny, Seville. I'm a Necron. Clovis, yes. And? Seville,
Yes,
what do you
and?
mean, yes, and? Clovis.
Elune, I'm sending you some messages of where I'm going with this.
I think it's really
this
funny how
virus
you're not
flags.
keeping Matthias in the loop. That is hilarious to me. Bro does not need to know. He wants to know. It's extra funny because he worked for the Inquisition.
Yep, out of everyone here, he would probably be like your number one man for the Inquisition.
Yeah, is Matthias.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
bye recording.
Bye, recording.
Bye,
Recording.
recording.